So there is a Lynn Haven City Commission meeting, a regularly scheduled Lynn Haven City Commission meeting that's about to kick off like in a minute. So it's not on Facebook, though. The city is not putting it on Facebook. It's on YouTube. So I figured I'd fix that problem and put it on Facebook, and we could just watch YouTube together. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch the Lynn Haven Commission meeting. I'm going to put the YouTube feed up, and we can watch, comment, talk about it, see what's happening. Let me thank sponsors first, so we don't have to interrupt the city commission meeting.
Strong, effective leadership. 3 words that could mean the difference between prison and your freedom. I'm Al Stallene, your Panama City Beach lawyer. 850-215-0628.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777.
All right. The meeting starts at 5:30. Let's go to YouTube. There we go. Click on live. Click on, there it is. Look at this. Let's see.
Everyone to be safe, and ended the meeting with an inspiring song. Also, the church has security protocols that were followed for this meeting to ensure everyone's safety due to social media comments suggesting violence towards those attending. The negative social media comments were the reason the media was not permitted to enter the meeting. Many people, especially the senior population, did not feel safe with the media's presence. As a citizen of Lynn Haven, I have seen our communities face the best of times and the worst of times in recent years. Like before, we must move forward together. As always, we are greater together. Mayor Jesse Nelson.
So the mayor's not there, and neither is Miss.
All right, at this time, I would like to ask Mike Williams to lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Evening. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, grace, and as we begin this meeting, help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a community, and nurture the bonds of our leadership. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the city, staff, faculty, and community members. Father, please continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask all these things in the Lord name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. At this time, we'll have public commentary. I will call based on the order of the sign-up sheet. Please remember to follow the decorum, and afterwards, if your name's not on the list, I'll allow you to raise your hand and come speak afterwards. All right, first up, we have Zach Detweiler.
Okay, so Zach is the spokesperson for the recall committee. Jesse Nelson's not there.
Hello, Commission. Zach Detweiler. First off, let me start out by saying, as I kind of said on Friday, I don't envy your positions, but I do thank you all for every time that you make the commitment to come in here to lead the city, to make the tough decisions, to listen to the community, and to work towards trying to better it. All 5 of you come in and have made that dedication, and I think it should be appreciated by the community. even if it's not. So let me start out by saying thank you for that. I don't really want to dwell in the past. I don't think it's going to be healthy for the community, but I do believe that the community needs to hear from you. And so the only question that I had today that I would like, just I guess the three of you, because the other two aren't here, I'd like to hear in your speeches maybe 2 or 3 things that you guys are passionate about in this community, that you guys want to see changes in over the next year or two. Think back to that first time that you guys ran your campaigns. What did you want to see in Lynn Haven? What were you excited about? Maybe it's the East Pass or the estuaries and things like that. It's accountability, but maybe parks and community. What drew you to being a commissioner, and what do you want to see out of it, and how are we going to accomplish that? Is it better procurement policies? Is it better ordinances? How are we going to get there over the next year? Give us some direction and show us where we're headed. Thank you.
All right, next we have Ryan Scray.
Good evening. Last week, the city manager was placed on administrative leave. Interviews were conducted, and by the end of the week, a decision was made to terminate. I believe you guys made this decision not politically, but based on facts, process, and a need to protect public trust. Friday's meeting, however, ended with an agenda item left undiscussed. Your priority today should be to keep the city running professionally while the commission searches for a permanent city manager. To me, this means appointing an interim leader who can carry out the direction of the commission. It needs to be someone who will be a team leader, who can trust their department experts, fill key leadership vacancies that are currently open, and support the staff who keep the city functioning every day. It's also time to deconflict roles. Currently, you have an HR professional serving as city manager, and that's giving one person too much control over many aspects of the city, including procurement, hiring, internal investigations. These are all real concerns, even if the intentions are good. Structural separation matters, especially when transparency and accountability are the goal. That's why you need to keep business moving, and I believe action is needed today to finish discussing that undiscussed agenda item. Lastly, I believe you have a chance to tackle long overdue policy updates, particularly in procurement. I know you all received an email from me. If you didn't see it, check your spam inbox, as we know. We can fix a lot of what's been broken for decades, but only if the next leader values process and partnership. Thank you for your time and for keeping Lynn Haven's future at the center of your decisions.
Well, look at that. Ryan Scray and I don't get along.
All right, so
but,
the next
agree
4
with everything
names
he
on this
said.
list are signed, and I'll be honest, I can't read them. So I apologize for that. But the next one in line, it's the only person on the list where your first name starts, I believe, with a C and an H. So if that's you, okay.
That actually has my husband and my name on it. My name's Teresa Smith. I live in Lynn Haven, and I've been living here 2 years. And I recently retired, and I was watching a meeting the other day on Friday. And I've been to a lot of meetings, been involved in different government things. I've never seen a meeting that lasted 3.5 hours. And I was
You should try Panama
very
City.
disheartened at the non-activeness of the city commissioners not to come to a consensus with each other. The way that ran around, we put our trust in our leaders, and each person is an individual commissioner. They know the ins and outs of what goes on in the city where the community people do not know. So the trust is in each of you. I did see a couple of you come out and say that you had heard things. Whatever's right and whatever's wrong, when you know what's right, you have to stand for what's right. And I know that you guys are going to do that, but we're starting to get involved in watching, and we want to be able to help. Our community wants to be able to help you to be a voice for this community. So we will be backing our community. We'll be coming to meetings and helping out. So I just wanted to come up and say that meeting should not have lasted over 3.5 hours. We were on our phone. There was so much that it could have ended sooner with a decision, but we do appreciate you guys.
All right, nice.
Thank you. All right, so I have 3 names that are initials or signatures. If you don't mind raising your hand, if that was you, I can just help you guys come in order, whoever put your name down, because I'm not going to be able to read it. Did anybody sign their name rather than print it? Yeah, I'll let you after we get through the list. Okay, I've got someone back here. Sir or ma'am? Okay, sir, yes.
So
Were you the one that was on the list? Perfect. Thank you, sir.
all right. I don't know where Mayor Nelson is, and I don't know where actually Judy Tinder. I do know where Judy Tinder is, but I don't want to tell you because it's a private, personal thing, I think, unless
Offering context. David Cromartie, 1315 Wisconsin Avenue, Lynn Haven. During the last meeting, I failed to conclude my remarks, so I continue. And every once in a while, a young white boy or girl will say, "Hey, mister, thank you for your service." And that felt even better. But now, thanks to Project 2025, I am beginning to feel unprivileged again. You see, contrary to popular belief, privilege shouldn't be white. It should be, however, every individual being afforded second chances to better living. Now, I wear a new cap everywhere I go, and it simply says, Black Lives Matter too. In closing, I say to all within the sound of my voice, with or without perceived privilege, we must rid our minds of all the hatred, malice, and bigotry. But Albert Einstein said, quote, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them." Vicky Gaynor may have been slain by those who possess privilege, but history will love her still. For I pray that God will look over the city of my birth.
God bless you, sir. I support
Thank you. Next
all
on the
Americans.
list is Christy McElroy.
making their public comments. He and I obviously, what I notice is political privilege. That's what I notice. I've seen black folks and white folks get railroaded, but political folks usually get away with a lot.
Evening, Christy
God bless them,
McElroy,
man.
57 years Panhandle resident, could have moved someplace else, worked for a company out in California, but would fly to California, fly back to the Panhandle. Have a house in Port St. Joe and one in Tallahassee. Dad passed away on Mississippi Avenue. This area is very special to me because I grew up in Panama City.
Could you bring the mic down a little bit?
Yeah. I appreciate all of you. I sent you 2 emails last week, and there were some failures. I think one thing is you do have a policy. Made that quite clear. It's been quite clear. Anybody up there, including the attorney, can recess. We need to sometimes think about, take a pause in order that things stay safe. I also commend the law enforcement here. They were in a hard predicament. And we need to hear from the chief of police that he has the presence and the authority to have his officers do what is needed. We don't want to be afraid to come to meetings. That is not democracy. Democracy can be quite messy. And of course, at the founding fathers found it messy and would get into very vicious arguments. But we have a diverse world and everyone needs to feel welcome. And so what I would ask y'all to do is to make sure that your chief of police and your law enforcement have the wherewithal and the right to keep everyone safe on both sides, regardless of disagreements. So I would ask for y'all to also utilize your responsibilities, that if things look like they're getting out of hand, they could be recess and reconvene. Thank you.
David C. from 1315 Wisconsin. That was, sir, that was you that was just up here, right? All right, just want to make sure I didn't skip you. Mr. Tony Bostic.
Good afternoon, Commission. Tony Boston, 159 North Kimbrough. What we witnessed on Friday was a grave miscarriage of justice. You can frame it any way you please, but that's exactly what it was. You guys capitulated and let the will and the wish of one man with money cause a grave miscarriage of justice to be carried out. And frame it, you can twist it, you can do whatever you think you need to do, but history will record that you were absolutely wrong. For a woman that has sat there for 7 years and nobody on this commission has come to her defense when she has done and executed everything that you asked her to do. You have taken the word of one man. You took a deposition that was given by a proven liar. It was granted immunity to testify against someone else. And now all of a sudden you want to tell me that you believe that he's the most truthful person in the world. And you carried out I say a great miscarriage of justice, but it was worse than that. Words just don't come to mind how bad your decision was on Friday. You talk about caring about the city of Lynn Haven. You talk about caring about the residents, but it seems to me that you cared about the opinion and the pocketbook of one person. And now you're gonna have to find another city manager. Are you gonna capitulate again and find who that one individual wants you to put there? With the exception of you, Mr. Peoples. The rest of the commission is the exact same commission that agreed and voted 5-0 to accept the recommendations of Mrs. Gaynor based on the recommendations of the hired consultants. And here 4 years later, you turn. The lack of intestinal fortitude on Friday was unbelievable. I hope you can rest well, because that took a lot. You gave up whatever humanity, whatever you had for the wrong reason. You didn't stand on your laurels when the city was being rape, robbed, and pillaged in the prior administration. And now all of a sudden it's great to do that. You should be ashamed. You should be. Thank you. Have a good day.
So any citizen, any member of the public can speak.
Next we have Brian Gray.
Support that. Mr. Bostic is so wrong on his facts. He said that the deposition's a proven liar.
Right, 1513 East 9th Street.
That's
I just wanted to take a moment and come up here and thank you, each and every one of you, for doing a good job and
since Hurricane
making the right decision last Friday. I know it wasn't easy.
I got
as George Hines said last meeting, I know it's not from the generous compensation package, because definitely not overpaid. That's for sure. But going forward, I just wanted to make two suggestions. One, when we go to look for another city manager, maybe, I think last time, if I remember right, there was 30 applicants or something like that. Maybe we can look for somebody outside that's not, and also maybe another thing we can consider is a outside forensic audit to kind of know where we're at financially, where everything's at. Because I know when I was on the financial review committee, important questions that everybody needs to know. Who do we owe? How much do we owe? And how are we going to pay it back? We're in a good spot going forward. Love Lynn Haven, got some good people. Thank you.
My point I was going to make about Mr.
Next,
Bostic,
we have, I believe it's Rich W.
he says that Chris
Mr.
Forehand,
Walker.
who was just deposed, is a proven liar. That is who Vicky Gaynor has been hand in hand with, and that's been their
point of
city
order,
engineer forever.
Judy Tinder
the
is
hell?
missing. Is she on the telephone?
No, we're going to do a resolution after.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The city's in trouble, and we know it's in trouble. And if you're not paying attention, that's it. In 2000, when I arrived here, I was asked by the city manager, are you doing better off now than you did before? I said, no. And now at 2025, you can ask the same question. No. Been downhill since 2000. Not getting any better. And if you're paying attention, and you should be, it's not going to be good in the next 5 years. That's what I'm not Nostradamus, but what I see is I see bankruptcy. I see a lot of problems we're not going to get out of. However, you have 3 directors that are not here anymore. You have a mayor that is going to be, or is possibly going to be taken out of office. You've lost a city manager. And again, I say you have 3 directors. You have 1 director that's in the drop program. You have another director that's lying like a whatever. Not looking good. What you need to do is take a look at the Constitution. Form a new government. In 1950, when they set the charter here, they said city manager government, which is sweeping the nation, is no good. You get a city manager and you get a dictator. That's in writing. And that's what they said. And that's what we got. We've had it. John Lynch up. You haven't gotten any better. Got a chance to do something. The Charter Review Board was a sham. You need a new government. Just like in 1776, they said, we the people. That's what you need. Got to form a new government. You've outlived city manager government. City's too big, too much divided. And maybe it's been divided even more. We had people, and I did it, ran for election 3 times. Up against the bureaucracy, never made it. Why do we run for office? Because we want change. We have answers. Your answer I'm going to give you is here. Get ready for a new government and make it a good one. You got a good chance now. Remember, you're losing your staff one by one. And they're not enjoying working here. Good luck. I would love to help you if you want.
Next, we have Lois Miller.
Good evening. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I didn't, because I was so disappointed at what had happened. 1 or 2, I didn't expect any different, but there were 2 of you who I thought would be different. I have never in my life seen someone have 2 votes, 2 motions on the same thing. I hope that each of you can look in the mirror and see if you see a good person, an honest person, a just person, a person who follows the law, who knows what's right. I hope you can see beyond your face and look into your heart. Because what I see and what I have seen last week, I didn't see anything good. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have, I think it's Aria or Anna W. from 1311 New York. Okay, thanks. Next, we have Michelle Bashirs.
Afternoon, Michelle Bashirs, 811 Louisiana Avenue. Well, what a mess. On Friday, I watched this commission do the right thing by choosing not to terminate Vicki Gaynor. And an hour later, I watched with disbelief as Commissioner Peebles and Perno made a 180-degree turn. I have no idea what happened. Some have speculated it was a threatening text, a bribe, a hand signal from a member of the audience, low blood sugar. Whatever it was, you will never convince me it was a great decision for the city of Lynn Haven and the majority of the citizens. It certainly was not for our family, as we received several threats this weekend. Guys, you have got to get out of your own heads and out of your own way. You've got to listen to good sound advice. So now I'm going to give some, and not that you'll listen to me, since 3 attorneys couldn't convince you to let the court decide and to wait. Speaking from personal experience, years ago, as a board member of a business, we terminated 4 individuals. I'd studied financial records, read emails and text messages, watched as funds earmarked for specific projects not being used for their intended purpose, but rather they were siphoned off to pay high-salaried individuals. I pored over minutes and read anything I could find in the historic records. Then before making the decision to terminate, I sought wise counsel. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and then voted with the majority to terminate. I thought I had done my due diligence. No, I made a bad decision because I didn't know about the backroom deals, the secret handshakes, the lies, and the manipulations. And I would have never guessed that I would have been subject to threats in the afterfall. I put my faith in the hands of evil men. When I tendered my resignation, I shaved my head as a sign of mourning and of my obedience to Yahweh, my strength and my Redeemer. It took me years to recover from betrayal, and the business never did recover. My advice is to ask someone who has actually experienced the actions you are going to make. Don't ask your wife or girlfriend. Don't ask your best friend or mom. Seek guidance outside of your social circle. Seek experienced, godly men of integrity and wisdom. Don't consider everyone as truthful. Most individuals will twist the truth.
Thank you. Next, we have Johnny Bashirs.
Johnny Bashirs, 811 Louisiana. There can be no doubt about the extraordinarily good things that Vicki Gaynor accomplished for the city of Lynn Haven and its citizens in the last 4 or 5 years. If you have doubts, you simply have your head in the sand and are blinded by some type of bias. While I was campaigning for commissioner this past cycle, I talked with many Lynn Haven residents who were unhappy that Vicki Gaynor was making as much money as she was. Michael White, under Margot Anderson and Judy Tender, was making essentially the same thing in 2018 that Vicky was raised to in 2025. Yet nobody batted an eye. For those that complained about Vicky's salary, ask yourself this: why was it okay to pay Michael White his salary, but not Vicky Gaynor's the same? Now you can say it's not about race or gender, but those are really the only differences. What most said was along the lines of, I don't make that much money, or I would do that job for that pay, or my favorite, the governor does not make that much money. Let's take the last statement first. The governor has a large staff attending to his every need. His housing's paid for, his travel's paid for, probably all his meals are paid for. Face it, the salary he gets is just the tip of the iceberg on what his total compensation package is. It's a popular soundbite, but inaccurate and extreme, and you know it. Then let's look at I would do the job for that pay. I would venture to say that none of those repeating this old saw have a clue about what the job requires and are in no way qualified to do it at any pay rate. Then what is probably the actual reason people are unhappy, the statement, I don't make that much money. This is jealousy in its purest form. This leads to only one reasonable conclusion. It's because you do not feel a black woman should be making more than you do. Take a deep look into your position and justifications. I'm not saying that anyone is being purposefully racist or sexist, but we live in a systemic system where racial, gender, and sexual preference do result in bias and unjust actions. Too many times we allow our bias to guide our actions when we as adults should strive to ensure everyone is treated not just equally, but justly. It appears that here, most have changed the golden rule from do unto others as you would have them do unto you to he who has the gold makes the rules. In another matter, you as a commission have removed the city manager, who was a key element in ensuring the city coffers were full and not misspent. Thanks largely to Vicky Gaynor, we have $19 million operating cushion. This could easily become a slush fund available to be plundered, and I expect each of you to guard it well. In closing, Commissioners Warwick and Tender ran largely on removal of the city manager, the mayor, and the chief of police. So don't think this is the end of the disruption to the city of Lynn Haven. This is a personal agenda driven at the expense of our citizens. We had a safe, prosperous city while Gaynor, Ramey, and Nelson were in place, as well as Judy Vandergrift. What's the plan to stop this disaster you've created? When does the witch hunt stop and the rebuilding begin? When are you going to concentrate on what is best for the city instead of seeking accountability for past grievances? Thank you.
These all seem like written scripts. You notice that? They all seem like
All
written
right, so
scripts.
there's a few names on here that are signatures. So I just want to ask if anyone did not speak and they want to speak, or if I did not call you and you still want to speak, if you could raise your hand, I'll go in order, starting on this side from row to row.
All right, I want you to
All right,
know that
so
in
raise your hands again.
court-
Sorry. All right, right here, sir. First,
federal
Mr.
court
Finch,
a
I
couple
believe.
years ago, Vicky Gaynor said Michael White was a great leader, even though he stole $5 million. And it was Chris Forehand who brought
I'm
him.
that one that they're talking
Some
about.
facts.
I didn't make Friday's meeting, but I seen it. It was pretty bad. But I'd like for the ones that's commissioner here that's taking money from me to raise their hand. Or somebody that didn't refuse to take my money, raise their hand.
There
you go. So I want to talk about the mayor here Friday was saying all about Jake's Landing and how I got it and with no problem, and Vicky couldn't have done anything bad to me or anything else because I got Jake's Landing. I want to read this. I approached the city manager about a 90-unit development. I approached the city manager about the 90-unit development I wanted to build. The property was in the county. I stated I would annex the property in the city. It would have resulted in roughly $450,000 worth of permit fees to the city. She stated they would love to have the money and the project. I annexed the property in the city. Then it went to the development order. At that time, the city's manager stated that it would only be good for 50 units maximum. I told her that was not our agreement. I would agree to a limit. Why would I agree to limit the development to 50 units when I already have the approvals for more than 90 units from the county? The same property, the same everything. I asked to de-annex the property and put it back in the county. I told I'd have to go back to the planning commission, which I did. They approved the de-annexation. Then went to the city commission to get their approval and was told, no, I could not de-annex the property. Now I have a major problem. Going from 90 units to 50 units would have resulted in a big financial hit for me. Mr. Warwick made the motion and Commissioner Aldridge and Mayor Nelson voted yes. Mayor Nelson did not relay this to the commission on Friday. He represented this whole situation in an entirely different manner. When he brought it up, he failed to reveal the months that I was held up and additional legal and engineering fees I had to pay. The mayor tried to show the city's approval as the city manager not having an agenda against me. But the truth is the city was forced to legally to approve it. The city manager was against the whole thing the whole time, and I told her I thought she wasn't reading the comprehensive plan correctly because an exemption was available to let the proceed with the 90 units. I was forced to sue the city. The mayor didn't say anything about that. Bottom line, the city accepted the exemption, and after all this problem, I was able to build the project. Let me read the city attorney's letter to the city manager. Vicki, please see the attached email regarding the late Jake's Landing subdivision. It would appear that the comprehensive plan allows for a single access to the site due to the limited roadway frontage on State Road 389. We have reviewed the city's comments on our application and are in the process of addressing them. With regard to the maximum sewer force main between Aberdeen and 390, we're considering the possibility of installing a force main ourselves. If the city gets the engineering and permitting done and provides the materials, we had discussed with Greg Kidwell about the approach. He was agreeable to it. Primarily, it appears that all the obstacles to this project can be overcome in the city to move forward. So they read the comprehensive plan right, and they allowed me to have the 90 units. And we finished the 90 units. But it was misled here Friday. And I have all the documentation. I didn't come up here with nothing but the truth and the documentation where you voted for not to do it, and the mayor was the deciding vote not to let me de-annex.
Notice which side. Notice which side.
All right, let's not
calling each other
clap,
names.
Okay, no clapping.
And notice
No
which
clapping.
side is bringing
Let's be
you back
respectful.
from the courts.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
That's very telling what I just said, by the way. Facts versus
Gay Spakes,
crazy
1019 Mississippi Avenue, Lynn Haven. I stand before
There we go.
this commission board with mixed emotions. I was very disappointed in each of you on last Friday with your anger and just unprofessionalism that took place on last week. But I'm not going to address that today. I want you to know that I am, as you say we move forward, that a couple of things that we need to consider as a commission, as a city. Number one, whomever you choose to put in this slot, in my opinion, should not be the person that was on the same committee to get rid of Ms. Gaynor. Those two things don't work for me. So I would consider that. And I'll be here to make sure that I can see what you guys are doing. And the other thing is, I heard someone speak on Mayor Nelson would be taken out of office. Do we know that? You have information that we don't have? Just wondering. Because I hear, when I was sitting with the same person I'm sitting with today, there were things that were being said openly that led me to believe that the information that was given in the private meetings with the commissioners were not so private. They knew information that the public did not know, and they don't serve on the commission board. They sitting right next to me. So how did that happen? I'm concerned. But it was clear to me after about 5 minutes that the task at hand was to get rid of Ms. Gaynor, and you did your task well. Nasty little things that came out. You need to be more professional. If you're going to serve the city, you need to be more professional. Thank you for your time.
God bless every American's opinion.
All right. I see the hands again, so I can make sure I stay in the order of one more time. Hands, Mr. Hines, and then I'll get you next, Ms. Parker.
1603 Rhode Island Avenue. I've been here several times before. I told the board before the vote, and I have told the board before, in March, they had a Republican forum, and they asked a question at the forum, which I thought was highly irregular. If you get elected, would you fire Vicki Gaynor, the Democrat, in the city of Lynn Haven? Mr. Warren said yes. Judy Tiller said she had just gotten an extension to her contract, and I believe she'll be able to retire in the end of her contract. She didn't say she would fire, but she did. Now, that's your business. One of the person in the audience brought up the Charter Review Board. Every one of you up there put a person on the Charter Review Board. Mr. Warren's person backed out halfway through it. The person that came here and said it was a sham. It was a sham because he couldn't be in charge of it. I was appointed as voted on by the people that was there. There was 5 of us. They voted me the leader, and we did that. So we did what was required of us to do. Just like y'all get to do what you required to do. I told you before the vote, the last thing I told you was leave, follow, get out the way. And y'all changed y'all way and went the other way. Only thing I want to know is, you had an interview with people on that Wednesday. A bunch of lawyers got together, y'all, each one of y'all talked to the people, had extra questions. You said some things came up that you couldn't talk about because y'all under a lawsuit. So you made the vote off of what you knew that we don't know. So I'd like to know when are y'all gonna be available to tell us what y'all knew that we don't know. Thank you.
So this guy says, I agree with 100%. If you're so passionate, why did you voice your opinion last meeting?
Okay, you have to miss Parker.
Because it looked like it was going to take about 3 hours. And I got in the car, I said it'd take about 6. And I chose to do a live stream instead, come back, edit some pictures, put them up. And the main reason is because I do what I want.
I didn't originally have intentions on speaking, but I am speaking today.
That's my answer. I do what I want.
The one thing that I want to bring up is originally James Finch had a lawsuit against Chris Lohan. And the reason why he dropped that lawsuit was so that he could have a deposition on testimony that he gave legally in a court of law, or not in a court of law, but before a lawyer, and gave testimony and said that he should be giving factual information to James Finch on what went on. That is the reason why James Finch dropped his lawsuit, so that he could find out what the truth was on the situation of what happened after the corruption. That information was put on Facebook, not by me, but there is that information. So if anybody wants to look it up, it's there. I know each one of you spoke and know information on what is truthful. And if anybody wants to know what it is, they can look it up because it is public now. So it's not that this is anything secret. It's already out there. And we really need to cool the tires here. It's too contentious. People are calling people names, getting in people's face. It's been horrible. I've been coming to this commission since after the hurricane. I never came here before or prior when I lived here in 2002. But I have a right to petition my government. Everyone has a right to come up here and petition their government, even if you don't live in Lynn Haven. But what's going on in this city, and I said it before, this city is on fire. Because things aren't right. Things aren't truthful. People aren't honest. And that's what we need. We have to have that. If not, we're going to fall. And we're not greater together. We're so separated right now, it's unbelievable. We need to come together. We need to say, hey guys, I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're yellow. I don't care if you're Italian. I love people. I don't have hatred for anyone, but a lot of hatred was showed towards me. I didn't hate anybody on Friday. I didn't. But I feel like it was fueled purposely. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Laretha Miller, 1508 Mississippi Avenue. You, sir, you have fought for this for a long time. You have shown your true colors. You've shown your evilness, and you have gotten what you want. But there are consequences to that. You too. I never would have expected that from you. Never. That what I watched, because I could not be in attendance, was the most embarrassing thing for the city of Lynn Haven. I have always felt like the city of Lynn Haven was charging for greatness in our county. I don't feel that way anymore. What you did, the number of motions, the back and forth was so unnecessary. So unnecessary. I've just never seen anything like that in my life. I spoke with you and told you about the quicksand. You're up to your chin in it. You will drown in it. You will. I don't know where anyone is going to go in the aftermath, whether you're going to heaven or that other place. But I know that you're down here right now in the corner playing with the devil's tail.
Notice.
Thank you. Do I have anyone else that would like to speak?
God bless every American's opinion.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go this side first because we gave the opportunity, and then I'll get you next. All right.
Notice who talks about facts and notice who talks about each other.
Donnie Walker, 1503 Dunnett Court. Good evening. And I came here specifically for one reason this evening, and that was to tell you guys to your face how much disdain I have for you. Judy, Jamie, we already knew. That was predictable. We knew. And that's what has me it has me a bit confused because we knew there was a bias from the last time when Judy was here against Vicky. We knew that. So we know that to continue this, that, hey, let's get rid of Vicky. How are we going to do it? We're going to get rid of Raymond. How are we going to do it? So the leveling was you, Sam, and you, Pat. That you, Pat, I see you as being a rational, well thought out guy. Like, okay, no, that doesn't make any sense. So we're not going to do that. Sam, I saw you as being, hey, I want everybody to be okay. What's the best thing for the city? I always saw you as being an honest guy. I really did. I thought you wanted for the best for the city. When the attorney that you guys pay say, leave it alone, there's nothing for you to do. Yet, to the left over here, we're going to do this. Tallahassee, the insurance guy, said, nope, don't do it because you could prejudice the case. I'm not a lawyer, and I understand that. But yet you guys still did that. So now the attorney is saying, yeah, I think you guys did damage to the case. And you're okay with that. And all these people who are proud of you are okay with that. And I don't understand how you put the city in liability and you're okay with that and nobody's concerned about that. So now you say you're going to do an investigation. Okay. My first concern was, what is your experience in doing an investigation? You have an HR. If there's a problem, so there should be some documentation to, hey, well, Ms. Gaynor did this, Ms. Gaynor did that. We had talked to her about this. We counseled her on that. So my understanding was the investigation was referencing a deposition that you guys are going to talk to these folks to find out about this deposition. And that didn't pan out. So you all had other questions. What you say, Jamie, that it was 2 hours and they're questioning folks. Questions that would suit your need, what you were trying to do. Like, wait a minute. So we couldn't get what we wanted from the deposition investigation, but we found some other things. So we're going to roll that into this and we're going to fire her based on all of this. That's wrong. That should have been something completely separate. If Vicky was guilty of those things, there should have been a whole different thing and not rolled into this thing about the deposition. So now it's all balled up in one big waddle, and I was supposed to Finch, I'd be feeling pretty good right about now because you guys helped this case. tremendously. And everybody seemed to be okay with that. I'm really disappointed. Not in you guys, but I'm really disappointed in you guys. I'm completely disappointed. I cannot say that enough. I thought that I read you guys pretty well. Like, okay, these guys are fair. But that was completely out. I was like, wow. Don't know what happened, but enjoy your evening.
See, I respect that. I have so much disdain for all of you, especially you two. Welcome to America. We get to say that to our elected officials.
Yeah. I'm just coming to make a broad statement and observation. Y'all are here. We're a community. We voted for y'all to be our representatives here with the city. And right or wrong, y'all have to look at the evidence and make a decision and look into your heart. But I'm here to tell you that what's going on here is a microcosm of what's going on in the rest of the world, in the United States. Evil is not creative. Evil plays by the same playbook time and time and time again. We are a microcosm. Their hope as far as evil is to divide, because divided we fall. I'm not saying dismissing anybody or what they have to say or their grounds, but this division is unbelievable of the community. Right and the truth will always surface. If it's documented and it's done, then it will surface. But we've got to stop this division, because it's going to get worse if we don't put a stop to it. Everybody needs to look into their heart and decide on purpose. We have a community. I believe that Mr. Finch, fortunately, we do have him in the community. He has benefited this community gratefully, and we all took from it. And now you want to crucify him over this, the community itself. But I'm telling you right now, if you look at what's going on here, it's the same thing. It's the open source foundation. It's the George Soros bricks delivered so they can create a riot. This is what's going on here. Evil has infiltrated, and I don't care how far up it goes. If it goes to the county sheriff, they'll be found out. We should have a constitutional sheriff. But this is ridiculous. And everybody, I don't care who you are or what you are, you need to look at it, and you need to look at what we're being set up for. And it is not good. That's all I've got to say.
All right, final call for public commentary. All right. Mic's on. If we could ask the city attorney to read the resolution for excused absences.
Resolution of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, excusing the absences of Mayor Nelson and Commissioner Tender from the July 22nd, 2025 regular commission meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Ms. Hodges, if you call the vote.
Commissioner Pro Tem Peoples? Oh, I'm sorry. Motion by Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
second by Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
and Commissioner Pro Tem Peoples.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, so moving on to commissioner reports. I don't really have a lot. We've all seen each other a lot this past week. But one thing that the attorney brought up that I think we might want to discuss, and we can use my report to do so, is that when we were in the meeting, we never really came to a decision on how we're going to officially assign a interim city manager. So I would like to discuss possibly adding that to the agenda, that we can at a minimum discuss how we want to handle that.
I make a motion to add that discussion to the agenda. Second.
So I'll just call the vote.
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes.
So I would have waited on that.
Let's add that just for the record. Let's make that number 10. That'll make things
I would have
easier.
waited on that
It's the
until
first one on the new
Nelson
business.
and Tinder are back, but they're elected. They can do that.
All right, we'll go starting from my left, Commissioner Perno.
Thank you, Commissioner Peebles. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know the decision we made on Friday was not a good decision to some, and it shouldn't be celebrated by others.
Maybe by
I had a decision to make.
The rest of us, she lied to the
It was a
FBI
long
about.
meeting.
Maybe Pat.
I felt like we exhausted every possible resolution. It was all out there. Motions were made multiple times.
What the heck?
We do not
New camera.
have to follow Robert's rules to a T. As far as I'm concerned, we use it as a guide, correct, Attorney? So with having limited outcomes to making a decision on one agenda item, I felt like we had a fair and equitable motion at one time, and I was shocked that it didn't pass. So we went on from there. And at the end, you're boxed into making a decision, and based on what we made a decision. And I do apologize for any inconveniences or anything and any hurt it causes people. But I do know that there was a resolution out there in one of those motions that would have had a whole different outcome to that meeting. So knowing that, I have to go on. So I just wanted to say that. Also, I wanted to say that, Harold, thank you. I emailed you. I was late. I was getting here with raindrops on my shoulder like everybody else. And I had a extra email from Jessica Graham. In September, there is a 5K, 10K run, 10K, 5K fun run for the Estuary program. The Estuary program did one last year. It's at Conservation Park out at the beach. It's a growing event. If you're a runner, it's one of the best events for running in the year, and the time of year is a great time. So the sponsorship form and the actual flyer for the race, I don't know if Harold, if you can hear me in the back, I don't know if you added it to her program, or I just wanted to say it so it goes in my report so it could become public. So thank you to all our first responders. Thank you to all our city employees. Thank you to the people who care to be here and give us your opinions. So, and thank you to everybody watching very high rated program on YouTube on Friday. So that's my report.
Commissioner Ward?
I don't have a whole lot. One thing I wanted to ask was, I know there's only 3 of us here tonight. And I know I talked to the assistant city manager about this. Do you guys think it would be useful only to do the agenda items that we need to do and table the rest of them
Yes.
to the next meeting?
I think that's a good idea.
Tonight.
It's an act of good faith.
I'm on the fence. I just wanted to get
that's a
your
good idea.
opinions on it.
I would recommend that you at least consider the millage rate because you
Right.
are on a deadline.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Like those ones.
Yep. Table everything. Do what you got to do.
So item number 10 that we just added, and then the millage rate one. I was actually considering asking the same thing about the ones that were here that was talking about the resolution, because the way that our charter is with 3 votes, if there's only 3 of us, and I talked to Jennifer Hodges about it and asked if it would be a burden on the city if we tabled those. So, I mean, I'm glad you're thinking the same way I am.
I'm sure the other 2 have valuable input. I just didn't want to give the appearance that, we're taking advantage of the opportunity that's only 3 of us.
Good
are
move.
here.
Yeah, for sure.
Right
for
thing
sure.
to do.
I can see if we're putting off the letter to the for the East Pass, because everybody has an opinion on that. But the strategic plan, we talked about the the ESTR program. Dr. Graham is here.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm
Okay.
good with that one. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
action on that. It's just
No,
a
no, no.
presentation.
It's just, it's information for us that everybody can get. So I just didn't want to waste her time. So,
Yeah, I agree. I
okay.
agree.
Okay.
I would also like to point out that with regard to the utility rates, however, we did put notices in all the bills that you would be considering it tonight. So even if you don't consider it, you may want to still receive any public comment for people who came tonight just for that purpose.
Okay.
Good too.
I'm good with that. So do I need to make a motion?
An item as well.
And the motion needs to be specifically to table until your next meeting.
Okay. So we're going to table everything with the exception of the one, which would have been number 10 that we added for the city manager position, the millage rate, and of course the presentation on the estuary program, and providing any comments for the utility rates.
What about the award of bids?
Yes, we need those, and we also need the very last item, which has to do with health benefits.
So we need 18, and what was the other one?
17, 16.
So you need all those.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess we'll add
Just-
those in there, which will be most of the agenda.
It's really just your resolutions that can be tabled,
Okay.
and you can take discussion and commentary on those and then table the decision. Is that correct, Attorney?
So that would be what used to be 14 and 15, but now it would be 15 and 16, right?
Yes.
That is correct.
And I guess number 10 is a first reading, so we'll still have a second reading. So I guess that takes up most of the agenda anyways. Yeah. So do I need to go back through it again?
So
Should we just go one by one? I say we go one by one, determine whether we want to table or not.
okay, that's fine.
Maybe that might be easier. Okay. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, so that brings us to the Assistant City Manager's report.
Yes, and I'm going to call up Director of Finance, Kiki Roman, to answer any questions on the warrant list.
Good evening, Commission. I would like to read to you a section from the City Charter, Section 2-125. It reads, "Each month, the City Manager Clerk shall submit a detailed report of receipts and disbursements to the City Commission. I will inform you that the Finance Committee is currently working on that report and with the goal of beginning that next month. What questions can I answer for you on the warrant list?" Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Kiki. And my brief report is, it's been short, but a long week. And all the staff of the city we've all been busy. It's been chaotic. It's been stressful, uncertain, frustrating, but through it all, the staff has persevered, continued to show up and work hard to keep this city operating and moving forward. I am proud, very proud to work beside each and every one of them. And I want to publicly thank them for staying the course. That's my report.
Thank you. And the City Attorney's report?
I have no report other than to, report that I have prepared a resolution for the appointment of an interim city manager if you wish to take action on it tonight. That's all. It's full of blanks.
All right.
You know, I got to say, for everybody to be asking where is the mayor after he threw a tantrum and had a secret church meeting where the press wasn't allowed in.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. The approval of minutes for 7/9/25 regular meeting minutes, approval of minutes for the 7/14/25 special meeting, and approval of the residential incentive program application 800 West 15th Street.
It's a
Motion to
failure,
approve.
failure of
Second.
leadership. Failure of leadership
Ms.
not
Hodges,
to
will you please call the vote?
announce that you're going on vacation. And let
Commissioner
everybody
Perna?
speculate.
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Mayor
Sorry.
Nelson
I don't think
deserves
I'm supposed to say that.
criticism.
Oh,
I'm
motion
new at
passed.
this.
Okay. Yeah, well, you're not the first one that's new at something tonight, so.
Peoples is doing a good job.
All right,
Mr.
so
Chairman,
that
tonight.
would move us on to, there's no old business, so that would move us to the new item number 10. It's up for discussion of what to do for the interim city manager. Anybody have anything they want to add or talk about?
I know this is something that we were going to discuss and the meeting was adjourned. So I do feel like that we have in our midst someone who's been a city manager before, and we might have someone also on our staff that is a civil engineer and versed in the running of a city. Procurement all the way through. I look at my viewpoint to be, I would look for someone like that to take the city at the helm for the interim. There's two names that I have, and of course it's Bobby Baker and Chris Lightfoot. So both of those guys have. Bobby's been a city manager interim before. Chris is more than capable. I wanted to just throw two names up and let's talk about it.
I was under the understanding from the last meeting that when I originally brought it up, that our charter already states that since we have assistant city manager, that they automatically become city manager.
That's in an absence.
It's in the absence. Now that she has been terminated, there is no
There's a
absence.
vacancy now.
Okay. That I didn't understand. Sorry. I know this is a tough one. I think with everything going on, I know Ms. Hodges has already been assistant city manager. She's already done personnel issues. I'd like to, and I don't know how long it's going to take until we find another city manager. That's probably another thing we need to talk about. But I'm kind of in favor of just letting her take the helm. And the one thing I talked to her about that I think we need to do, and it should have never been set up like this, was, she was HR. She's doing like HR and assistant city manager. And I know we talked about this where you already have someone in mind to fill in as HR so she can just fulfill the city manager duties. I think it's important to keep those separated. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
All right, well, so I've heard three names. I think we should probably ask these three people if they're even interested.
True. That's a good point.
Are you interested, or would you be willing?
It's a tough job. I can help definitely in the transition and do whatever the commission needs. I do think I have the background, the knowledge, skills, and ability and experience. However, it is a commission decision, and I'd be both honored but also willing to help whoever you put in that position. It is your choice, and you need to make a decision that you feel like would represent not only the commission, but the city and all of our personnel. And yes, Commissioner Warwick, we talked, I've had someone in training and have already asked for that position in the new budget to be made a director position. And if we have to bring that sooner, we can do that. I have no problem with that. Thank you for the opportunity.
And then Mr. Baker and Mr. Lightfoot, are you both willing or be okay with that if you got chosen? Yep.
I think all three of us are in pretty much agreement that we want what's best for the city.
No
So
on this
whatever
guy.
you all decide tonight, we support
Hell
fully.
no.
And we will work beside each other to move forward.
Not this
And do
dude.
whatever we need to keep the city moving forward.
I've seen this guy just be rude as hell to people.
Thank you. Thanks to all
running
three of you
around with
for
beef blaming.
being
No
put on the
that
spot
dude.
like that. I appreciate it.
Hell no.
My question is, the attorney sent an email to us around 2:30ish.
Let me ask
something like
somebody,
that.
what do you think of
But,
that last
I got a
guy?
chance to read it, and it was that the FCCMA offers the ability to do a third-party situation where they will bring in a help you find a recently retired city manager to come in to serve from a 30 to 90 day period. That's an option too. So that's something I wanted to bring up as well. In that situation, I think we'd still have to have someone appointed until that person comes along, of course. That is just something I wanted to bring up since that's also an option that we can talk about.
And just to clarify, they won't provide a body, but they will help get the word out to help you find someone to fill that position if there's no one in your community you want to fill that role for in the longer term, if it's taking longer than you think it might.
I think the service is more of a mentorship or helping with the publication and the searching or personnel hunting for a qualified individual. We are a member, it appears, of FCCMA. We are not a member currently of ICMA, which is the international. But we could certainly do that if that provided more services.
I don't think it's necessary to receive their assistance.
Okay.
So this resolution is in two parts. One is the appointment, where you name a person to serve. Part two is where you designate, if you want to, a period of time in which they serve. You can also just say until another interim city manager or permanent city manager is selected. I've got all of those options there for you, not knowing which direction you wanted to go. I will advise, as Sam alluded to earlier, your code does require that resolutions and ordinances be passed by the affirmative vote of 3. So your action needs to be unanimous tonight. I have also suggested to him a way to make that happen without everything failing repeatedly by a vote of 2 to 1. And that's just to start with a ballot. That is when you write down the name of your first choice, so that we can see who at least has maybe a majority of the votes. Now, if it's one for each of you, that helps not at all. And those ballots are public records. This is not a secret ballot. This is just a way to get recognition that maybe somebody has 2 votes or someone has 3 votes, so that you can make that motion the point and hopefully it be a unanimous
So we
vote.
put like our number 1 choice and number 2 choice.
Just write down one name for your first choice. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a way to move forward. It's not the only way, but I do have some concerns here that your vote needs to be 3-0 for the resolution to be successful.
I think I do need to reiterate that. I think it's smart that we say for amount of time, so that so like if we choose 30, 60, 90 days, whatever, so that it'll require us to come back and revisit at some point, not just an indefinite, all right, you're the person until we say so. I also would like to, I know that it's not it's not in our charter that we can say, hey, you must do this, but I would like to say to whoever is the interim, I would like to personally ask that you don't make any major personnel hiring or firing. I'd like to have some type of hiring freeze, because I think that would protect all parties involved. It would protect whoever the interim is, it would protect the city, it would protect the staff. That way there's no bias involved. It's just, hey, you're filling in and you are helping us until we find our next city manager. And if in the interim you see something that's like public safety issue or whatever, of course, absolutely. And if you want to pass on your information to the next city manager, that's their prerogative. And it might be you that you're the next city manager, So that's just my request. I cannot tell you to do that, but I would really like that to be the case.
So you're saying a hiring freeze on all employees,
I would say department heads.
department heads?
Yeah, because we don't want to limit department heads for junior employees. That could get kind of sticky, right? Because I don't know.
I don't know if we want to put us in a position where we really need to hire somebody. And I mean, I'm not saying, I got another option I'm just thinking about as we're talking is if we really need to hire someone, can it come to the commission? Because it does say advice and consent, right, on the charter.
It does say advice and consent, and I think it's fair to direct that during this period of transition, that advice and consent be done at a commission meeting formally rather than informally, as it might also be done.
It makes sense.
We agreeing for both hiring and firing, or just hiring?
Firing can be a little bit more complicated.
charter implies
That's why I was asking.
That has
Advice
to
and
be,
consent.
if we did it that way, would that have to be an open meeting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, then we'd have to do it then. I would say,
The firing is tricky because the charter doesn't give you the commission.
It's implied.
The advice and consent is not in regard to firing.
Right,
It
it's
is
only hiring.
It's only hiring. So acting in a way that is contrary to the charter, particularly with regard to firing employees, that is within the authority of the acting city manager or the interim city manager, as the case may be,
Thank you, Amy.
Was
feels
it-
dangerous to me.
In other words, stop
is it
carving out
dangerous
exceptions.
to do it at a commission meeting? Is that
I
what?
don't think the commission has the authority under your charter. Whoever
Right.
you appoint as your interim city manager will have the authority
Thank
to
you.
fire employees.
So
And I don't think
your,
you can take that away from them.
so your recommendation is not to do the firing through the commission, to bring it to the commission,
You have
Right.
to.
The commission doesn't get to be involved in the firing.
right?
It's easy enough to require the formal advice and consent of the commission for hiring decisions. Because your charter contemplates advice and consent. You can direct that be done formally. It doesn't give you any authority for firing.
Right, right.
Right, but on the flip side of that, if you
In other words, the city manager advises a firing of and the commission would have to vote on it.
or permanent city manager,
Right.
Man, come on.
I think that's kind of why it's not in the charter. That's what logically makes sense, is because the city manager, whoever that is, serves at the pleasure of the commission. So yeah, you're not telling them how to do their job, but if you don't like how they're doing their job,
This is
Right.
painful.
I
Look,
guess
you're
I
not
would
the
assume
first
that that's the reason why the charter is written
commission.
that way. I wasn't.
You're not the first
here when it
commission to deal
was.
with this.
Oh, that makes sense.
Look at the options of what you have and
What do
make a
you think,
decision.
Commissioner
I mean,
Perno?
what are the three best options in this situation? But you guys can't just start carving stuff out.
Talk or write it down or what?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well,
We're
were
gonna
talking
give
about-
names, right? Let's get on with this.
we can do that too,
Let's
if you want
do
to
it.
start with that, but we were talking about hiring and firing an employees. I think it sounds like we're in agreement as far as hiring have to come to the commission, but I don't know about the firing.
You have to follow the
Let's pick somebody who's gonna hold it down and, I don't want to see any major changes right now.
Me neither.
But let's give them, let's find out who it is and give them an amount of time. And we can, what did you say? Guide? We're to,
Direct that the advice and consent be done formally by the commission at a
we
meeting.
could just do it at a meeting and once we have that person, then we will, what was that again? Advise and consent?
Advise and
We're
consent.
going to advise and consent the hell out of them as to what we want to do. So let's do it.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm hearing, I'm not, the third party thing, I'm not hearing any more talk about that. So I'm assuming you'd rather just make the decision tonight and go from there. That's what I'm
Do it.
hearing.
What we're here for.
Agree. Do I need to write down a name?
Anybody have a piece of paper that's blank?
Nope.
I do.
I got 3.
Mine's yellow though.
I
need to write
deleted
her.
Jody's
Don't
comment
use all
because I didn't
all
like it.
papers. We're going to need it
She
again.
didn't delete the comment.
Take 2.
Maisha,
You'll need to write your name
Lucia,
on
I
paper
did.
because these are public records. So, your name on the top. Your
What happens
What do we
nomination.
pass it down?
Your
Right?
nomination.
Before we get to it, what happens if we get 3 different names?
Then Jennifer or I will report. There's no clear winner here, and you're going to have to vote on somebody. Or you take no action and you defer it until you have a full board.
Hand it to you.
You can give it to me or to Jennifer.
Yeah, they are public records, what they're writing down. It's just a goofy way of doing it, in my opinion. I've seen this before.
You have no clear winner. You have 3 names.
All
Can
right, go ahead.
we do like ranked choice voting? Is that an option?
Oh, I'm not a mathematician. I can't do that.
Oh, boy.
Let's do it again.
So we want to
Oh
put
my
3 names.
Gosh.
Yeah,
just-
and he with the least points wins.
I need another
I
piece of
suppose.
paper.
Did you get another piece of paper?
They are following sunshine standards, Pamela, because the cards will be read out loud. It's just a goofy way of doing it, in my opinion. I agree, Pamela, on that. Just do it out. Just work it out, man.
You're not going to rank them?
Out loud.
Rank them. 1, 2, 3.
So as that gets tabulated, I just want to thank
Denise, they're
all
not, it's
3
not
of you
breaking
for
the law.
stepping up.
It'll,
you know,
it'll all
and
be open.
it's not an easy decision. I think all 3 of you are great people, so I appreciate it.
I'll be happy with any one of you 3 for sure.
So just so you know, I it's not a secret. They're doing this to try to come up with, which is dumb. I agree, it's dumb, but it's not, because it's going to be read aloud, and Amy ought to read all of what's on every card right after they see if they were able to determine who's the most popular choice. No, it's a temporary position, Nancy. Such a goofy way of doing it.
All right. So in your ranking, Chris Lightfoot has the least number of points.
Yeah,
So
that guy's
it's
terrible.
closest to your number 1 pick under the ranked voting.
So he's out.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we make Chris Lightfoot the interim city manager for a period of time to be determined.
He had the lowest
at our
vote.
Advice and counseling at the next meeting, or do you want to put a date on it right now? Right now as a caveat. Do you want to put it 30 days, 60 days,
Am I
90
wrong?
days?
I thought he had the least.
I'd say,
Say
let's
30, 60, 90 days is really not practical.
Okay.
I've done interim city manager 3 times, twice for Lynn Haven, once for Callaway. Each time it took 6 to 8 months. By the time you interview and then actually advertise, get them interview them, do contract negotiations, and then give them time to put their time in where they're working. It's always taken 6 to 8 months each time. So
That's
30,
what I
60
thought, Julie.
days is just not practical. Right.
put a year on it, or
You don't have to put
until-
a time at all.
Time
You can say until another interim city manager.
until another
or a
interim or
permanent
city
city
permanent.
manager
I
is
thought
duly appointed
Lightfoot
by
came in
resolution of
I'm
last.
good with that.
What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go with that.
All right.
You said.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Can I read the?
Oh, yeah, let her read it
by
first.
title. A resolution of the city of Lynn Haven, Florida, appointing Chris Lightfoot to temporarily execute the functions of the office of city manager.
That's terrible. He's
Until-
like tight with Ramey. Oh
He
my
shall
God.
serve until another interim city manager or permanent
Basically
city
what it says
manager
right
is
here.
duly appointed by resolution of the
Show
city
the
commission.
cards. You got to
Okay.
read the cards out loud.
I'm good with that.
Oh my God.
You need another motion or?
No.
Okay.
All right, and we got a second. So do I have any public comment? Oh, okay, got a lot. We'll start on, just like we did earlier, we'll start on this side, row by row. Mr. Bashir's.
That's like Chief Ramey's right-hand
Don't
man.
take this the wrong way, please. I like Bobby and I like Chris, but they were the two individuals y'all interviewed in your decisions to terminate Vicky Gaynor.
Exactly.
I don't think it's appropriate
They're
for
being
either of
deposed
them to
next.
serve in that position at this time based on that interview.
He's
I think
right.
and the lawyer can answer if it gives us more liability or not, but I think it gives us the appearance of impropriety. I don't agree that that's the best solution.
He's right.
You have an assistant city manager that's been acting in that position along, and I think that makes the most sense. That's just my personal opinion, but I think it gives an appearance of impropriety if you use Chris or Bobby. And like I said, I like them both. I think they're perfectly honest people, but I just don't think it's the right decision. Thank you.
Chris Baker and Bobby Lightfoot are the next in line for
Can I see the
depositions.
hands again? Or you know what, we'll just do, I'm just gonna say row. Next,
Look, Chief Ramey just walked up to the front row. He's going to insist that his boy, Chris Lightfoot, gets the job. You watch. See if I'm right. Usually I'm not, but see if I'm right.
I've been through 3 city managers. Bobby is correct. It takes a long time to get the process going. The last one, we had 51 applications. All 50 dropped out, except one. That's the city manager we just lost. It was a tough row. Mr. Schubert, when he was chosen, was the first one where the people got to interview him. We had a part in it.
Exactly, Marla.
What you're saying here is, and what I'm going to say, no disrespect. That gentleman over there. I know the 2 gentlemen. Bobby did it. He was temporary for a while. After that, no more. Bobby is in the drop program and he's out of it. Okay. What you need is somebody that's not tainted, not been here, not involved with any of the bureaucracy, politics that we have. What you need is somebody from the League of Cities to come in here that's going to follow the charter. That person is going to be signing the checks, in charge of the police, in charge of every directorate, telling us what to do. You got to be careful just in your interim one. Have to make sure. We know why we're in trouble now. You don't want to stay in trouble. You want to let the process go. That's going to be long. But your interim has to be somebody that's from the outside, has no involvement in this town, can read the charter, understand the charter, and understand what he, she, or it has to do. That's the decision you have to make.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't believe, no disrespect to anybody that works here already, I don't believe that we should take from within the interim. Might want to take from within future. That's true. Thank you.
Really, Nancy? I usually like him. I agree with him on this too.
I mean, my knees get bad when the rain comes in. I'm gonna kind of have to agree with the sentiment here, not because of any disagreements with any of them. I've had conversations over the years, and I don't necessarily have problems with any of them. But the city's kind of in a precarious situation. It is correct. You know, we would have to either find a new HR person to handle those situations if, you know, Hodges was made interim or
This is
even
why
in their
Jennifer should
current
not be
acting for
interim.
anything to occur, because if a whistleblower is to come forward, there are technically no other avenues than HR at this moment.
She's HR.
with
You don't want to
the
mix all that.
engineering side, we're already short a planning manager. We're already short a building director. And we're going to be short an engineer if you go this route because you can't do both jobs. And I'm going to tell you, you can't. It's going to be 60, 80 hours sometimes, especially digging us out of this hole. You're going to get the city in a situation where you're going to have to hire so many directors. It's going to be a lot. So take that into consideration when you think about how you want to move forward. If you move forward with Chris, fine, no problems. I honestly don't have any issues with that, but take that into consideration when you're rebuilding this city, because that's what we are in right now, is we're going to have to rebuild. Those services that can't be provided, do you have to go exterior for them? Right now, all of your building services are going through the county. Is your planning going to go through the county? Is your engineering going to go through the county? Are you going to hire outside firms like Panhandle and Dewberry to do all of your engineering because the person's serving as interim city manager? You have to think about all those things when you make a choice. I am a huge proponent for, and I understand that this may be a process and it may take 30 or 60 days to bring someone in, but bring someone in from the outside. I think when you hire, I think that you should look from either outside of this community or ones who, I hate to say weren't born here or a part of the system, but, it's really things to think about when you go to choose the next person is, how can they lead us out of this? How can they lead us into the future? And what choices are they going to make? I would go with the League of Cities long-term if this is going to be a long-term process, because I also believe that an outside auditor should be brought in. I know we don't have a city clerk position, but we certainly can hire a deputy clerk. It used to be in the budget. It was taken out in 23, and I think we could put it back in. I think it would go a long way in this city to having someone dedicated to that audit. Other than that, let your guts decide and do what's right for the people.
Thank you.
Can I just clarify something? So this is until, this person's going to fill in until we can actually we can do one or two things. Until we find another interim city manager or a permanent city manager. So it's not a done deal. Even if this person fills in temporarily, it's not 100% done.
At your next meeting, you can pass a new resolution appointing a new interim. Yes.
Thanks.
Anyone left on that row that wants to speak? Next row. Next row after that. Next row after that. Next row after that. I believe we're okay. Thank you, sir.
I repeat, or Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them.
Hold on, man. We're going to stay on this side. I'm going to go row by row, and then we'll go row by row.
Tony Boston, 159 North Kimbrell. I said that you guys made bad decisions last week. Would you like me to go out to my truck and get my shovel for you? Because you're just digging yourselves in. This makes absolutely no sense. You have an assistant city manager. You want to take the fox out of the hen house and put him just right out in the yard. Nobody in their right mind would hire anybody from within the city to do this job when they're compromised as well, just by the fact that you got an investigation that they're going to eventually have to be subpoenaed to testify under oath.
Deposed. He's right about that.
And then if you take either one of these gentlemen, which I don't know either one of them, now you got to find another department head in order to do the job that they're already short of doing. What sense does that make?
Not much, Tom.
This is crazy on 9 different levels, and y'all are continuing to dig. You've opened yourself up already to additional lawsuits. At what point will you stop? You don't listen to attorneys, obviously. And now all of a sudden you throwing the current city attorney under the bus because you doing this based on quick, fast advice right now that is to a degree faulty.
Actually, she kind of climbed under the bus.
And it's going to put you in a bad position. You guys have got, if you need to, table this until the next commission meeting. Get some real advice, do some real thinking, and make real decisions for the people of Lynn Haven.
I second that, Tony.
Because you guys are the one doing this. You guys are the one that's got the city to the point it is right now. Let's not try to blame anybody else. It is your fault. And now you're just digging in. If you were rappelling out of a helicopter and you knew that you were at the end of the rope, don't you think you would tie off and hold on? Or would you just do what y'all doing? Just slip off the end of the rope and fall 50 feet? This is crazy, guys. Come on. I do believe, yeah, y'all made bad decisions last week, but I do believe you got to be smarter than this. You got to be. You cannot be that blind that you don't see this coming. This is a train wreck in progress. And sooner or later, the bills are going to come due.
Chief Ricky Ramey, look at
it. If you think the $19 million you got in your coffers right now, you're going to spend that on attorney fees and paying people out. This is crazy. You're doing this to yourselves. Thank you.
Sorry, anybody else? Want to say? Okay, cool.
Times my name and everything's on record. I'm getting tired of coming up here and giving logic that not being accepted. Military leadership teaches you. You have a chain of operation, chain of command. If you know you're going to let somebody go, you should already know who you're going to have them replaced with. We have an interim right now. There's nothing wrong with leaving the interim in place until you find out the results of whatever you're trying to find out. If these two actually was part of your investigation on Wednesday, you know that they shouldn't be the city manager, replacing the one you just fired. All I got to tell you.
By the way, that's Mr. George Hines. He's been coming to these meetings for 30 years, and he's entitled to his opinion, even if he wasn't living in the city. He's forgotten more about Lynn Haven than most of us will ever even know. We disagree now, but George Hines is a good guy, in my opinion.
Once again, we are embarrassed. Embarrassed because it is very crystal clear that none of you know what you're doing. None of you. Writing names on a blank sheet of paper, and you clearly have demonstrated that you have a hidden agenda for the next person. So my personal recommendation is use a third-party source, because that person can't be manipulated. That person will know what he or she is supposed to do, unlike any of you.
Anybody else from that same row? I'll let go to the back and then come back.
So that's a good point, Marla.
All right. No one else before the last row. Just want to double check. Okay.
At the meeting on
And I'll
July
come back to you,
14,
Ms. Shoes.
Chris Lightfoot was slipping over a secret message to Chief Ramey. Lightfoot's the worst choice.
Carrie Parker, Red Place. Chris Lightfoot and Bobby Baker were put in a position to answer questions. We need to show some empathy. We need to show some empathy. Also, I was on the charter committee, and I am recommending that a city clerk be put in place as well. Thank you.
Yeah, they should do that. Can I just say, I see the chats, and forgive me, but
I would like to say that I think this should be a decision of all 5 members of this board. It's not right for the 3 of you to do this at this time. Let this wait for 2 weeks. I don't think it's appropriate at this time. Thank you.
Yeah, I think she's got a point there.
Anybody else on this side? All right. Start on this side. Anyone? I'll start in the third row. Well, anyone in the front row want to talk? Okay.
Oh,
I guess we should give staff.
Chief Ramey. He's going to want Lightfoot watch.
So obviously, as a city, we have to move on. You 3, all 5 were provided with information.
Oh.
I'm very concerned about the people that did come forward. And you can all look at me and shake your head because you got the information. Does that concern you?
What do you say? Stop talking in code.
Does it concern you? Mr. Perno, does it concern you, what you read?
Are people under investigation?
20 hours into this. 20 hours. She's at your restaurant. She's got you on the phone. Who is she coming after? Who is she coming after?
Ooh, is he talking about Vicky Gaynor?
Has anybody thought about other department heads that have dealt with this?
Who the hell is he talking about?
Why don't you have them come up and speak?
Yeah, thank you, Chief Ramey.
We have to move on peacefully, united.
What?
We have a great city. But I'm going to share with you 20 hours into this. It was coming.
All of a sudden, Ramey's turned into
For
a
a
good
chief
cop.
of police that read a deposition and talked to 2 witnesses, it was on an agenda, 20 hours deep into her command.
He's talking about Vicky Gaynor.
It's embarrassing. That's malicious. That's vindictive.
Whoa.
That, what is done in private, will be cast on a mountaintop.
Especially with him, because he surveils your phones illegally.
Embarrassing. You 3 protect the people that are truly behind and running the city. Protect them. I have no further.
I'm
Anybody else in that row?
He's worried about what Vicky Gaynor is going to say about him.
All right. Next row.
That's what I think.
Next
Yes.
row.
Hey, you commissioners need to stop letting everybody speculate and tell us what's
Good evening,
going on.
Commissioners. My name is Sherry Steele. I
That's
live
how
at
conspiracy
1806 New
theories
Jersey
start,
Avenue.
leaving us in the dark.
I want to thank y'all for the stance and you following your heart on Friday. I believed in y'all, whether either direction it went. Y'all have the information. I think y'all all need to, all 5 of y'all need to come forward and state why y'all made a decision that, or why she was let go. I think it's good for the citizens to know that so that the division that is occurring in this city can be stopped. I also think tonight we do need an interim city manager, but I think all 5 of the 4 commissioners and the mayor need to be present. I do not think these 2 gentlemen need to be part of the equation simply because they were part of the investigation.
We don't know, Marla.
I don't
We
know them, but at the same time, you've got an assistant city manager that can step up. She's got someone that can fill her position, or you can go to the League of the Cities to fill that position. I don't think you would, if you add them to the interim city manager, all you're going to do is cause more hatred and division in this city. And I think it needs to stop. And I think y'all need to all have the rest unanimous decision. That way, 2 weeks from now, when y'all meet again, the mayor or the other commissioner can be part of that. That way it's unanimous decision who's going to be the interim city manager. And I recommend that you use the existing assistant. That way you keep it in, and then when it comes time to hire someone as the permanent city manager, I would recommend that person to be outside of our area and brought in. That way the corruption can end.
Thank you.
That the division can end.
Well, that'll
Because I've lived here for 10 years. I came from Tallahassee. This was my hometown. I moved back here. I normally do not get involved in any of this political stuff. I've only been to 1 city commission meeting, and that was after Hurricane Michael. And I've watched it here recently because of all the hatred and the division that's going on. I see it on Facebook. I'm now starting to see it in my neighborhood, and I don't like it. And I think y'all all need to follow your hearts, stand united, and bring this city back peacefully. And do not allow more corruption, because it's out there on Facebook, it's out there, and the people are talking. Everybody knows that they are part of the witness, and it's a disservice to them too. So you've got to protect the city and bring us back united. Thank you, and that's all I got to say.
Arthur, I think you'll be surprised.
Thank you. Anybody
the
else
answer
in
to
that
this
row?
question, when it finally does come out,
Anyone in the next row?
if I'm right.
Next row. Let me slide this way so I can see the rows.
Well,
Next row that wants to talk, Mr. Langford.
Corey Langford. I usually like what Mr. Langford has to say.
Good evening. I want to echo what everyone
Thoughtful.
else is saying. I know Mr. Lightfoot and I know Mr. Baker, and I think both of them are more than capable of fulfilling this. But I think not only does it put the city in a precarious situation to open themselves up for an angle on a potential lawsuit. I don't think the optics are good on that, and really, I think it would put those individuals in a precarious situation. So, as far as Ms. Hodges is concerned, I mean, we say it all the time. Nobody's shooting at us right now. All right,
He's a military guy.
We can take a breath for a second, and let's not rush to failure on this. I do believe that absolutely, if she's in place, the HR duties have got to be split just to maintain the integrity of everything.
Put him
I
in
also would
charge.
Support.
There's your guy.
Leaving her in place until the League of Cities or whomever that is, that process could get an outside interim in. I think that the goal would be is to have an outside individual in that position, whether it's an interim or a permanent for long term.
Throw your hat
So
in the ring,
I would
Mr.
probably
Langford.
work in that direction if I were you all. Again, nothing against Mr. Baker or Mr. Lightfoot. They're more than qualified to fill that position. I just wouldn't want them to be put in a situation. Somebody else mentioned the clerk stuff. I think right now is a prime time. Let's go ahead and fill a clerk
That's
position.
right.
Whether that's immediately. I don't think it necessarily needs to happen immediately, but I think it needs to be at the forefront of everyone's minds moving forward. Thank you.
Let me tell you a story about Corey Langford. About 3 or 4 years ago, he made a comment on Facebook, and I misunderstood the comment, and I cussed him out. I was like, "F off, you jerk!" I mean, he caught me at a moment, and then I realized that I was wrong, and I called him on the phone, and I apologized to him, and I said, "Oh man, I'm so embarrassed, but I want everybody to know I sometimes make mistakes." But I apologized. He's awesome.
Choice you're making is not good. There are a lot of negative optics if you had chosen her. There are a lot of negative optics if you chose either of them. In fact, when I looked at all the options within the city, there's really only two that you don't have bad optics with. It's Ty Ferris and the fire chief, and I don't think either one of them want this. So no matter what, you're going to have bad optics. So you need to do what's best for the city. And I mean, I'm from up north originally, but I know you guys love football down here in the South as much as I do. I love the Green Bay Packers, and I've watched, teams be rebuilt, and that's what you're doing. You're in a rebuilding phase right now.
Angie, I love your
There's
comment.
great people in this city. There are great people who work in the city, and all three of them just said that they would work with each other, whoever you pick. So I trust that if this motion passes, that she will work her hardest at being HR to support him. And if you had picked her, he would have worked his hardest to support her. And that's what being a team is. The public, we don't know. Frankly, we don't know what the hell's going on in the city all the time. It's an organization and it's ran. It's open to public records. That's fine. But we're not here every day. We don't know what's going on. These are people with professional backgrounds hired for the expertise they have in their fields. If you pick Chris, you have 3 department heads you already have to get hired. So you're going to be given, as Pat said, you're going to be given a hell of a lot of consent and advice. 'Cause that's 3 right there. In addition, potential backfill for his position. Procurement needs to be broken out. City manager should not be the head of procurement in this organization.
The hell? I'm agreeing with Ryan Scray all day.
Professional, and there is so much siloed off into one position. It is a massive ethical and integrity risk to have so much going through one person's role. We need to separate out specific duties into specific roles. We got $19 million extra? I'm pretty sure for the next year we can afford to hire a few extra people to help get our shit straight in this community. I mean, you're talking people that are going to make 100, 150,000 at most, right? For their expertise. So do your jobs that we're asking you to do. You figure out who's going to be best to run the city till you find a permanent person, whether it's that person or somebody else, and get to fixing things. Procurement policy, whistleblower policies, that was already mentioned. And that's just the beginning. I still have about probably 4 or 5 key policies of the city that I need to obtain and go through. But when I went through the procurement policy and I told the city manager months ago what needed to be fixed, it's so bad you can't fix it. You need to start with a brand new one like Panama Cities and go from there.
Look at Ryan's
Thank you.
great bringing people
Anybody
together. I
else
don't
on
like
this
guy.
side?
And I got reasons. I don't want to share them, but he's right. And he's engaged in his community, and I salute that. Look at that. I'm feeling all nice tonight. One thing about Christy, she takes her time.
I've been to so many city, county meetings over the last 15 years and other
You pull the
places.
mic down so we can hear.
Yeah. And actually, I've seen commissioners do exactly what y'all just did. And the thing is, you took the blows about there was a 3-hour meeting on Friday and being told that you were wishy-washy. I got to say, you stepped up, you made a decision. I'm sure that these people are professionals and they'll work together. You think you have time, but you really do not. When there is chaos, the best thing you can do is right the ship as quickly as possible. And that's what you 3 are trying to do. So give a little grace to the folks that are sitting up here that aren't being wishy-washy. They're making a decision. Nothing is permanent. And you darn sure need to have a little trust. So I don't think you're going to have to go out tomorrow and hire 4 people for Chris Lightfoot. Neither one of those gentlemen are engineers. So the next thing you need to do is be looking. Who are you going to have as your engineer company? You have to keep moving forward, and there are so many decisions that need to be made. I commend you. I've seen this before. Commissions have to replace somebody. So, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gay Spates, I've already been up here once or twice here. As I said originally, don't put the people in place that were instrumental in getting rid of your last city manager. You have an assistant sitting right over there. Why not use what you have? Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Anybody else that would like to speak? All right, so let's do a little bit more discussing. I will say this. So we've had, this agenda item wasn't even on the agenda. And the large majority of the people here, well, I would say 100% of the people here had no idea that it would be on the agenda. So they didn't even come prepared to say anything. And the common consensus to me is we need to go third party. I mean, at least 80% of the people out there said that.
No, and I'm glad everyone made the comments because a lot of the things that they were saying is what I was thinking. And I want to go third party.
We have time to talk about that as a group of 5.
Yeah, we do. But like right now, I think we're just, I guess what I was getting at the beginning, that's why I wanted to just go with the process. But I think right now we just need to give them direction that let's go look for an outside person and bring them in, and just because we do already have assistant city manager, and give them that direction, start looking at outside to bring someone in.
So what exactly are you suggesting?
From the original one that I was going to do, which was Miss Hodges, just have her keep her as the assistant city manager, filling in the city manager until we can get an interim city manager to fill in until we find a permanent city manager.
And you got to find an HR director.
Gonna,
you shouldn't do both jobs.
I think Mr. Baker's right. It's going to take 6-8 months before we find somebody.
We have a motion in a second.
I know, we're gonna have to vote on it.
I mean, we need to, and it needs to be unanimous. I mean, we could do this at the next meeting. We could move now, and at the next meeting, we could revisit it as 5. But I think we need to vote on this.
Say we vote.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Ms. Hodges, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick,
No.
Commissioner Peoples.
No.
So can I make another motion then? I say we'll have, we start searching for an interim city manager. Someone from the outside, whether it's the list of names from the League of Cities, and then what's the other one you sent us, the International or the
That's right,
City
Monty.
Managers Association. Start looking to see who.
I want us all to be a bunch of good Rodney Kings. Everybody get along. Can't we just get along? A peace pipe, right?
And I think we need to spend some money on it, unfortunately.
I'm pro headhunter, honestly.
Right.
And that would bring in people here can put in an application, people from across the nation can bring in an application, but I think headhunter is well worth the money. From what I understand, it's about 20K, but that's well worth it. I think we should also, maybe to expedite it, say we need X amount of applications, maybe. Say we need 20 applications or whatever that number is. Of course, we can get more feedback.
He's always putting
from,
too many details in
the mayor
stuff.
and Commissioner Tinder when she comes back, but I think we need to set like a number of how many applications we want.
Come on, man.
beforehand.
Keep it simple.
But to proceed tonight, we had some concerns brought up. I don't want people being fired. So that's my only request is we clearly had at least one staff member that publicly stated that they're worried for their job. So all I'm asking is I want on record that the person that
it's against
that said on record that they're worried for their job, that they're not going to be fired by whoever the interim city manager is.
You're interfering with
You mean the one from the
charter.
outside?
No, like right now, because we're going to have an interim city manager
Okay.
until we get one from the outside.
Yes,
You know what
he
I'm saying?
does, Marla.
I don't want to go from tonight. If there's anybody that feels like their job is in jeopardy, I don't want them to feel that way when we leave.
Okay.
And I think the fact that's been attempted, I think that's why we need a different interim city manager. And we made a decision. I chose a person. It was the highest ranked.
It's very nice, Marty, but I
It's
can promise you that
Probably
is
until the next meeting because it'll get brought up
not true.
again.
So do we
I
need
wish
to
that was
take
true.
any action now? If we need, what's that?
To maintain the status quo, no.
Okay.
Amy's tired of it.
I say we maintain the status quo while we search for an interim sort of city manager.
Welcome, Mayor.
outside of the
We
city
need you up there. Oh, Lord.
staff.
God bless you, and I hope you all are doing all right tonight.
I need to make a motion for that, or just we need to give her direction?
So with regard to the search for and whether an external interim or a permanent city manager, I've already reached out to the League of Cities. I've already reached out to FCCMA. I can
Jody.
tell them officially we
I'll
would
think it-
like
I'll
their
think about it.
assistance in putting the word out.
Okay.
We still need staff to prepare a city profile, a salary range, confirm some details of the job. And that is a job that your current
That would be
HR can
HR
do.
and the city manager. We need a different interim city manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
but they can
Outside interim city manager.
But they can put that information, they can prepare that basic information to get the word out.
Internally.
You want an internal?
Turn on your mic, Pat.
If one of those two guys.
Yeah, they can't hear you.
I just said, I feel strongly that we need an interim city manager so the present city manager can do the HR one of these two guys could be city manager.
No, those guys are up for deposition, man.
We made I know there was public commentary.
Mhm.
And this could go to the next meeting when the mayor and Miss Judy are back. We could revisit it.
Okay, let's do that, because honestly, I agree with what Mr. Bashir was saying about the whole situation. I just didn't, yeah.
So
I say we keep it the way it is.
that's not what I was saying.
Right. Can I, just to make the staff member that came up here and said on record that they're worried for their job, can we have it on record that these people are not going to be fired if we do that?
All right, well, then all right. Make a motion, status quo.
I mean,
No,
what are you
no
talking
firing
about?
until we get another interim city manager. That's from the outside area. Is that what you want?
Sure.
I
I'm
don't.
not sure
Amy,
it's binding. You can say it, and they will
Thank you,
understand your
Amy.
intent. But I also need to say,
it's not binding. It's
you
anti-charter.
don't have authority to fire,
Thank you, Amy.
and that's only available on hiring, as long as we're clear.
Okay.
You can
I
say what you
understand what
want.
your wishes are, and I think anyone who's serving in the role will understand your wishes are. But in terms of what your legal authority is,
Right.
you're crossing a line.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
not.
you,
So I
Amy. You
can't
should have been
make that
saying that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's binding. You can make it in your motion
long
because that's the
time, by the
direction you
way.
want to give staff. It's just not legally binding.
Okay, then I don't, well, if it's not legally binding, there's no sense of me making the motion.
Exactly.
So,
Amy, you should have been saying that for lots of meetings, not just this one.
Right. But can we,
think
No,
rather
Sam,
than
you can't.
directing legally, can we just all say on record, we wish no one to
Look at
be
Amy.
fired?
Look at Amy.
I mean, because the reality is that, yes, we cannot direct that.
Sam, this isn't
but we
kumbaya,
have
man.
people that are concerned, and I want them to
Lord.
feel that they're not concerned.
Sam, it's not a
You
playground.
know, like, yeah, we cannot legally direct them, but if they serve at our pleasure,
Mhm.
and we have 3 people up here saying, hey, we don't want you to fire someone, that's kind of going to look bad if you end up firing that
Whoever
person.
you put as the interim city
You know what I'm
manager
saying?
has to have all that authority.
Does that make sense?
No.
All right.
all right, so I vote to table it until the next meeting. That's my motion.
Do we have a second? Right, motion on the floor. The second, we did not get a second, so it died.
Can we get to business? Oh, I hate that word. Can we get to government?
So where are we at?
I mean, I love the word business, but
This was an item, it was a discussion item.
Yeah.
There was a resolution available for your action. So far, there's no action to take. You have the authority to appoint an interim. You do not have to. It is not mandatory. It is discretionary.
why don't you just wait?
Make a motion.
Well, my motion was to appoint Chris Lightfoot, and
No.
we couldn't do that. So how about Bobby Baker?
My concern is a concern that Mr. Bashir's brought up. I think he's right.
Yeah.
I-
They're next up for
I agree with that.
depositions.
This man's been a interim city manager. He's not indicted. He's not named in the lawsuit.
He's next to be
He's
deposed.
scheduled for a deposition. He may not even be deposed.
I bet he will.
So
Do we have any other department heads?
who's capable of running our city right now? One of these two gentlemen is more than capable. Great. Look for a job somewhere else, dude.
Pat's pissed. He just told somebody looking for a job somewhere else, dude.
Yeah, we don't have a motion on the floor.
I'm sorry.
We don't have a motion on the floor.
Move along, dude.
Yeah.
What I've seen in the last 72 hours, one of these two guys.
Well, the issue here is we have to have 3 people vote yes on something to pass it, and I don't foresee that. I
want
see that
Chief
happening.
Ramey to come back up. Get Chief
Tell you what,
Ramey back. Give him
This is
another
a
3
discussion
minutes.
item. Why don't you move on to some other city business and
That's
then
right,
maybe
Amy.
revisit this item at the end of the meeting? maybe, I don't know that anybody has changed, that moves the needle any, but you can have one last chance to
Okay.
try
Alright.
something. And in the meantime, we can get some business done.
Okay.
I concur.
All right. So we will
Chief
be
Ramey
moving
came up and
on
made
to,
crazy statements, but they were in code and nobody will
First reading
tell
of
us what he meant.
ordinance 1182 relating to front yard parking standards for recreational vehicles. I'll read it by title. An ordinance of the City Commission of Lynn Haven, Florida, amending the Unified Land Development Code to clarify the front yard parking standards for recreational vehicles on residential property, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for codification, and providing an effective date. This does put into legislative format Mr. Warwick's motion verbatim.
is there any more discussion on this? I like it the way it reads.
Me too. Now, this is eventually going to have to go to the planning board, right?
It's scheduled
This
to go to
ULDC change.
It's scheduled to go to the planning board at their August meeting.
Okay.
And then it'll come back for you for second reading, public hearing, and adoption.
Thanks.
All right. And so,
Call for
yeah.
a vote, Sam.
So that was discussion only. So we'll move on
Public
to
comments.
the discussion and possible approval to provide a letter of support signed by the mayor endorsing the, oh, that's right. My fault. I apologize. We got the presentation from St. Andrews Bay, St. Joe Estuary Program update by Dr. Jessica Graham.
I'm going to take a moment to remind you, if you never want to miss a show and you want to pass along the shows, even if for people who are not on Facebook, it takes 20 seconds to subscribe. It's free for the weekly newsletter. Bernie.substack.com. Get it? 20 seconds. You're going to love it. Every weekend you'll get the my shows, Facebook posts, and you can pass along even people who aren't on Facebook. Bernie.substack.com. Subscribe. It's free. You'll love it.
But overall, we're really shooting for these moon goals, the clean, swimmable, fishable waters, functioning ecosystems, stronger, more resilient communities, and a responsible community working together. We are trying to cross jurisdictions and work with folks to make good decisions on big issues. And you can kind of see some of those issues on the second page. The second page goes through our priority issues. There are 8 of them. And then our board, and so the locally elected officials sit on the policy board. They are your voting members, so they are advised by others that are non-voting. We have a management council, 18 members that represent different jurisdictions. So we have industry, we have research, we have community members. And then we have these 5 different advisory committees. Any citizen that is interested in being a part of our program can sit on these advisory committees. It's really where the work gets done and a lot of the products get created. But overall, the Estuary program is an investment into our future.
My looking into this a while back is this looks like a St. Joe. Yeah, I don't trust this at all. Some of these names. I don't want to get into it too much right now, but I don't trust this one bit.
And I dig a little deeper into it on the third page. Since we really got going in about June of 2022, we've submitted 36 different grant proposals for a total request of $47 million. A lot of that was implementation, dirt moving, projects getting on the ground.
I bet.
We've secured $8.6 million of that. Most of those that were funded tended to be research projects and planning.
Forgive me for being pessimistic or skeptical. Skeptical is a better word, but this just seems like money laundering. I dig deep. Somebody dig deep into this stuff.
Get some member contributions from the different cities that are members and active on our board. This is one step towards a national estuary program designation and to be able to make more of that measurable impact. Because we are grant funded, 100% grant funded, Our activities are very restricted, so we don't get to work on all of the projects that we know need to be done because it's all up to whether or not a grant is going to fund it. And so I've put together some of the funding diversity of anticipated funding by source on the third page. And it's really, you can see primarily over almost 80% of our funding is still federal grants. We're going to continue to look for those grants. I just got a notice that we received another one today that'll help to better understand our water quality across the bay. I put together, one of the citizens previously asked me, what is Lynn Haven going to get? If we contribute, what is Lynn Haven going to get? And so I tried to kind of put some tangible items to that. We've written a lot of grants in collaboration with your staff to try to get funded. We aren't always successful, but that doesn't mean that the work isn't put into that. The estimated return on investment for more tangible products is almost $200,000. Indirect project support. So we get projects that ultimately benefit Lynn Haven. So things like stormwater potential. We are looking at an analysis to identify areas for reforestation across all of Bay County, but Lynn Haven's included in that. So that's what I mean by that.
Lord, if I knew this was going to go, I'm getting more gray hair just watching this. Damn, I thought this was going to be like 20 minutes. I get home early to my sweetheart tonight. Get some apple juice. 80 proof. The only time I get in vitamin C. I mean, if this turns into a 3 or 4 hour meeting. Oh, that's right. Okay.
So getting McKitchen's by.
I should record this voice so it'll help me sleep.
Dean Street Stormwater Regional Wetland. We're going to get it funded. Promise. One day we're going to get it funded. We're talking about a flooding reporting system. Being able to get accurate and up-to-date information on flooding is critical for getting more grants. You can say it's flooding, but they want documentation when it comes to Resilient Florida funding. So those are the types of things that we're trying to help create and alleviate your staff needs to be able to create that and manage that on our own, but then be able to provide that to you all to be able to leverage for additional funding to come in the door. And we have lots of wish list projects. We can go on and on for those, but also large scale ones. One that I'm working on right now with the county to get funded is microbial and nutrient source tracking project. That is going to tell you why it's impaired. So it does a DNA analysis on the water, and it'll tell you if it comes from cat, cow, dog, human, and that will help you address what actually needs to be done. Is it stormwater? Is it septic tanks? Those sorts of things. So those are some of the wish list large scale projects that we're working on. I'm happy to answer any questions. I did bring some of our CCMPs to you as well. I think some of you have these, but I know that I don't think Ms. Tinder has one of these, and so I brought them. Any questions?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I bring these up.
What about the Trap program right now? How's that going? And have you emptied them yet, or?
No, we'll empty them in about a month. We did check on them when we first installed and it started raining really hard. So they were fine. They managed to make it through the rain. So now we're just going to wait. It'll be about 3 more weeks before we collect. We did do Parkers. We installed them in Parker as well, and we did collect through that as well. And we did catch some trash. We also caught some debris as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so for number 12, we were going to go item by item. I guess it's now 13. The discussion and possible approval of the letter. Do we want to do that, or do we want to table that?
I mean, this doesn't really commit us to anything, just says we're supporting it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
Bay County is applying for permits right now to open up the East Pass, and they're just asking every city around to support them in that process. There's no commitment on our end as far as financially. This is just to support them to try to obtain the permits.
Motion to approve.
Yeah. All right, we've got a motion on the floor. Any public comment? Sure.
Hey guys, so putting a little bit of my professional cap on. I love these type of organizations. I don't think that cities and counties really truly appreciate the level of work that they do until it's, 15, 20 years down the road. You guys are finally reaping the benefits and stuff like that. But with rapid development growth, with especially, them talking about needing to redesign the dam, with the way that water flows and stuff like that, as much as I've come up here and preached about trees and how important they are in our communities, the water is just as important. There's entire ecosystems that rely on it. The way that, we build homes and things run off into them, like College Point, for instance, I don't think people know that sewer doesn't run all the way down into it. But that type of information is going to help impact your decisions in the future. And I just want to say, it is great to see them getting funding. It is great to see them having support. And these types of things, I love to see them. I'm a science nerd at heart, and anytime you get to see this stuff working. I remember the first time I put out a poll about probably 3-4 years old. I mean, my dad had helped me with it, but I grew up in Clearwater, and we have great, beautiful, clean water there. But it is because of the way that we're set up. You go into the bay, it's a little different. Clearwater, Tampa, St. Pete area, unfortunately, grew too fast to understand what decimating their mangroves was going to do to their system. And so I would hope that Bay County gets the enlightenment of this information that's going to come and really thinks about, future planning and future development, because these types of things will impact our grandchildren if they choose to still live here. With that said, I know East Pass was brought up. One suggestion I threw it out about a year ago with the Beach Drive stuff going on. But you're going to need a place to put everything that you're going to dredge out for East Pass. And I think one of the options is putting Beach Drive, I know it's not particularly related to this, but putting that into a conservancy out from the mean high tide water line, actually building a berm there so that you have some storm surge, protection there, building the beach out, and then you'd actually be able to put a sidewalk way away from where all the owners would be. But finding those creative ways in a community to look at a problem over here and go, we could utilize these resources and put it over there, and having that cohesion between communities and cities and stuff like that can go a long way to solving problems. So not just in this, but in everything. Start looking to your neighbors and to the county, and let's start actually working as a community to do good things.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, you wanted to speak?
Here comes common sense.
Just going to say it this way. Captain Richard T. Walker, 1106 Michigan Avenue. I've been with the East Pass program for a long time. I've been with the Estuary program before that, grade school. So this goes back to the days of the Blue Water Horizon problem. In the Estuary problem, I'm just going to go a little data. In the Estuary problem, we got involved in $5 million of donations from Bay County to prevent anything coming into us. That didn't work. We didn't get anything out of it. That's gone. In the Estuary program that I started with back then and before then, that never came to fruit. But it dealt with the area that we're talking about, Lynn Haven. It deals with the Fannin Bayou. It deals with the bayous out there. The United States government put the fuel depot there, contaminated that area, and they owned it. Now Marina Island LLC is going to put a 400 boat slip in there and try and use the old dock. These things are going to impact in the estuary. Most people here did not know what the estuary is about. There's so many creeks, Econfina, etc., Bear Creek, everything dumping into there. And that's supplying a flow back to the East Pass. Dozer and Bay County worked on this for years. They've been still working on it. Anything to help this, to make the natural flow of water out of out of the East Pass and into the East Pass is going to be a help. It's going to take care of the weeds, seaweed, the oysters, which are gone, and everything else, and make nature come back. So with the estuary program and the East Pass, anything that can help that out, being a captain on a boat and going out of there many years and bringing maybe something back, I would appreciate any help they can get. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, there's a motion on the floor. Ms. Hodges, will you please call the vote?
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes. All right, motion passed. Next, we have the discussion and possible approval to set the proposed millage rate and hearing dates for the purposes of submission on the certificate of taxable value to the property appraiser's office pursuant to the Trim Act.
Good evening. Typically, this is an administrative type event. I have a bit of a different challenge this year. We were scheduled to meet last Friday to discuss the budget, and I was going to be briefing you on the challenges of next year's budget. I am not given that opportunity now. Tonight, we need a decision about the dates and the ceiling for the millage rate. The dates are easy. We will continue with the regularly scheduled dates, the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of September. Both meetings will be at 5:30 in the afternoon. Now comes the millage rate. The former city manager had always informed me she wanted me to report to you a ceiling of 4.2. We have a number of different challenges this year. This is where I was going to brief you on last Friday. I have discussed with the Finance Review Committee meeting, the Debt Review Committee, and the former city manager a number of times. Hurricane Michael Disaster Fund 101 will be out of money at the end of the month. We will be in a negative cash position of about $315,000, which means in fiscal 26, the general fund will need to make those debt service payments of $2.8 million. That's out of the general fund. So I know that the residents have the $19 million that keeps being repeated. That $19 million is going to have to take care of the debt service for the 2019 bond. Right now, I am asking, the documents I sent you are at 4.2. I am suggesting that we set the ceiling tonight. Ceiling, we can always go down, we can't go up. I'm suggesting that we set the ceiling at 4.5 with the idea that we do more research and have that meeting that we were supposed to schedule last Friday, get that scheduled as soon as possible so we can nail these numbers down.
Just so everyone understands, we go through this every year. When people see this, they think it's a done deal, and it's not. Because if we don't go high enough, then we really put ourselves in a corner.
Correct.
So it's not a done deal. We can go as low as we want, right?
Correct.
We just can't go above whatever we set it tonight.
Whatever you direct me to tonight, we cannot go above it.
Right.
We can go below it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I specifically remember that from about 2 years ago, having
yeah.
this conversation.
So,
Kiki set me straight, so.
yeah, she does good work.
Yeah.
What's the county ceiling right now?
I don't know. Do you know what the county ceiling is?
I understand that they are not proposing an increase to their regular millage, that they are proposing a 12 mils. I believe it's 12 mils to the fire assessment.
Oh, boy. They're about to lay it on
And
you.
you have a deadline to get this, right?
I need a definitive answer to send into the state by August 4th.
Okay.
Which is before our next scheduled meeting.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve.
At which millage rate?
4.5.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Well,
Oh, need to read it?
There's not a resolution. This is just a motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
4.5. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do, Ms. Hodges, can you call the vote, please?
Do you want to take any public comment?
Oh, my bad. Public comment. I apologize. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak? All right, Mr. Langford.
That's what I'm doing.
I don't
right now.
remember, but is there, I think there's a state statute that allows, or that restricts rather, the increase of millage rate every year. I think that's the thing, and I may be completely incorrect on that, but if we know that the millage rate can only increase by whatever it is, I'm just going to throw out a number, 1.2 every year. All right. Then I would, what good does it do to run the numbers at 4.5 if you can never increase to that amount?
How about that, guys?
So it's not.
Amy?
So you can only, so maybe I'm misunderstanding then. That was the only question I had. Thank you.
Amy, can you bring some clarity to the legal question?
Any more public comment?
Miss Sarah Moon would know the answer.
Nope.
Where are you?
All right,
Amy?
I apologize for almost skipping public comments, my first time. So.
You're doing fine, Sam.
All right, and
Today
thank you
and
for
tomorrow
whoever
and
pointed
however
out
long
that
the
we need a
meeting
public
takes.
comment. Thank you. All right, so we've got a motion on the floor with a second. Ms. Hodges, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Perna.
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes. Motion passed. All right, moving on to the number, what was originally 14, I guess it'll be 15 now. It's a discussion and possible approval of resolution 2025-07458, amending chapter 70 and 54, the fee schedule and appendix A, utility rates. We did talk about potentially tabling this one. I'm in favor of tabling. Do you want to go ahead and talk to it though?
This portion needs to be advertised
Okay.
and was advertised for this meeting.
Okay.
I understand if you table it, we can be discussed. However, before you decide if you're going to table it or not, this has been reviewed and recommended by the Finance Review Committee. So we followed the same methodology that we have in the last couple of years. I crunched the numbers based on capital improvements that were given to me by Mr. Lightfoot. We discussed it quite extensively at the Finance Review Committee. The increases are modest, and these increases are included in the budget that I just told you about.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would also remind you that because this has been noticed for consideration tonight in all of the bills of your city utility customers, to at least invite public comment if there's anybody who came here for that purpose
Okay.
tonight.
Just make a motion to approve. And we go to
And then if there's a second, we'll go
there's
to
a
public
second. We'll
comment.
go to public comments. Motion to approve.
Hold on. We,
No, that's
to
not what she's
approve
saying. That's not what she's saying.
this
You need public
or
comments.
to approve
You
tabling?
invited people out.
To approve this.
Public
You said
comments
it's been
first,
to the-
Pat.
It's been to the review committees. It's been noticed.
But there might be people in the
Yes.
audience, Pat, who drove all
I
the way
see no
there.
reason why we can't do the city's business, guys. Motion to approve.
Second.
It wasn't
Let me
called
read
for.
it by title.
Pat.
A resolution of the City of Lynn Haven,
Oh,
Florida,
Lord.
amending chapters 54 and 70 of the fee schedule and appendix A of the Lynn Haven Code of Ordinances and providing for an effective date. Specifically, these new rates will go into effect October 1, 2025. This resolution is effective immediately, but these new rates will go into effect October 1, 2025.
All right, thank you. All right, we've got a motion on the floor with a second. Is there any public commentary?
I would ask that you guys tie any, before you increase our water rates again, the city needs to set a rule as to when all water meters are correct. And I don't know where we're at right now. I'd like to hear that. But
There you go.
from what I understand, there was a lot of water meters that were incorrect. So those individuals were paying the base rate, so on and so forth. So if we're not at 100% tonight, every single water meter in this city is fully operational and everybody's paying what they're supposed to be paying. Along with this increase, there needs to be a direction that there will be no further increases in our water rates until all the water meters are fixed.
Thank you.
Or at least a reasonable amount.
Corey,
Obviously,
thanks
there's
for
going to
that.
be some point in time that a few water meters are broke, but something reasonable. You get where I'm going with that.
Mr. Lightfoot, can you, Mr. Lightfoot, speak on that?
Oh, Lord.
So we don't have an updated zero consumption list, but as we've kept you all updated, we have been making significant strides in changing out water meters. We did propose to contract out the remaining 5,000 or so water meters to change out and put on the radio read. We have not been able to have our budget workshop with you all yet, but we would like to schedule that workshop so that we could continue forward with what we propose. Right now, we have tentatively 2,500 meters in the budget, but would like for you all to look at the budget in a workshop so we can decide to go ahead 100% with that.
Weren't you piggybacking off another order?
Yes, sir. The city of Panama City Beach recently went into contract with Core and Main, who is also our provider. And so it's a new contract that we can piggyback off of for the install as well as the purchase of the meters and the transmitters.
Is that time sensitive?
Yes, sir. I believe we have 12 months to piggyback off a contract if I remember right, but we would have to get the contract to the attorney for a review.
And I remember seeing the plan where not this next fiscal year, but the fiscal year after is when all of them that have zero consumption should be.
Yes, sir. If we stick to the original plan, fiscal year 27, they would be 100% complete.
All right, so there is a plan in place for. All right, so we got a motion on the floor with a second. Any more public comments on this? All right, Ms. Hodges, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes. Motion passed. Moving on to originally what was 15, discussion and possible approval of resolution 2025-07459, amending the final budget for fiscal year 2024-2025.
So just to be clear, this is the current budget we are working on today. I've got a couple of corrections in here and a couple of additions. There were corrections, there was a clerical error. I take full responsibility for it. We included some items in the CRA budget that should not have been attached to the CRA. It's about $90,000. I'm taking it out of the CRA budget and putting it into the economic development to cover the project for the Tennessee Avenue project. That was my error. I apologize. We are also adding in some invoices for the HMGP grants that Mr. Lightfoot has been monitoring. Those invoices are due. We need to get those paid. Those are included in here. There's a couple of little tiny things in the fire department, not a lot of money. The whole impact is $77,392 to fiscal 24-25.
And I'd like to say motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Do we have any public commentary? Anybody in the public would like to speak about this? All right, my question is, I do have a question first before we call the vote. The money that went from the CRA to economic development, that's essentially, is it still funded by CRA or was it funded by?
No, it's a grant program, which is why we should not be recording grant money in the CRA fund.
Okay, I'm following.
Grant money needs to be in the general fund. So the expenditures will follow
The
those
truth coming out.
revenues.
Okay.
Something was a
Tennessee
mistake.
Street. Tennessee
Sorry?
Street, is that a sidewalk project or sidewalk project? Yes.
All right, thank you.
Before you conclude on this, I would like to also tell you something that is not on the agenda.
Oh, boy.
Commissioner Perno, you have asked repeatedly for a report on the city hall rebuild. I have those documents with me tonight.
Ooh.
I have had them with me almost every commission meeting for the last 2 years.
Whoa.
I'm prepared to speak on that if you would like it.
I would like that to be in front of all 5 of us, or
And when we do our budget workshop,
I was
I'm
like,
wondering
Vicky
if
might
that'd
have
be a
been
good time to
suppressing
do
it.
it'd be fine.
with Jesse.
I thought we needed a separate workshop, but
Absolutely.
it got put into the strategic planning,
Yeah.
and it really didn't get much time there, other than a slide, but we really need to break that down. So I appreciate you going on as long as you have with all that information. Thank you.
My pleasure. It is important information, and it does impact the budget, and it will impact the budget for years to come. And it directly relates to the $19 million that the residents think is available for other projects.
Wow.
About $19 million is going to be, a good portion of it is going to have to be used to pay down the bond.
Let's listen to her now, Pat. She's obviously hasn't
Thank
been
you.
able to
I
say
did see
this.
Mr. Walker wanted to talk on this, so.
Under Vicky Gaynor and Jesse Nelson. She wants the truth to come out. Damn, you guys, tell us. What
Transfer
was
of
Chief
funds,
Ramey talking about? What is
from
she talking
CRA.
about? Hey, Chairman, you've let her talk.
CRA board was involved and knew what this was. CRA is CRA. And that's CRA board, not you guys in a different shirt.
I do need to read this resolution by title before you vote. A resolution of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, amending the final budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hodges, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes. All right, moving on to discussion and possible approval of the bid to BCL Civil Contractors, Inc. for the CDBG DR 9M0045 Minnesota Avenue and Mosley Drive Sidewalk Repair Project, and authorize the mayor to execute the contract.
Could have eaten a later lunch. This project is the $1.1 million CDBG DR grant that we received a few years ago. And is to replace the sidewalks that were damaged as part of Hurricane Michael on Minnesota Avenue from the Pine Forest Railroad tracks there where Rails to Trails basically starts, all the way to Mosley Drive, and then random locations down Mosley Drive that were damaged by debris trucks and debris falling on it. The estimate originally was $1.1 million. That included construction and engineering. The bids came in, and the low bidder is BCL Civil Contractors, $589,570.19. And this project is reimbursable.
Awesome, thank you. Any discussion?
Nope. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion to approve in a second. Is there any public commentary?
Yeah, we want to hear about the 19 million.
All right.
The hell's everything's a secret.
This
Sam,
is not a
this isn't good,
resolution, so it
man.
doesn't need to be read. So, Ms. Hodges, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Warwick,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples.
Yes. Discussion, moving on, motion pass. Moving on to the next
Exactly.
item, discussion and possible approval to award the bid of West 10th Street Utility Improvements Project for Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Project to ECSC and approval for the mayor to execute the contract.
Yes, sir. This is another one of our CDBG DR grants. The original grant was $5.125 million. Cost us approximately $650,000 in engineering fees. Bids were received, and the low bid was
Engineering fees, that's
ECSC at
forehand.
$4,416,594.43. Again, this project is a grant. It's reimbursable. The city will pay up front. It will help tremendously at our wastewater treatment plant by lining a bunch of our gravity sewer, as well as some fire flow issues and some stormwater on West 10th Street.
This is a big deal. So I appreciate you guys' hard work on that. So
Hey, Jamie, what's a big deal is what you guys just swept under the rug.
Okay.
It goes from 10th Street down to 17th Street, from Ohio to Tennessee Avenue in various locations. It's sewer lining, water line replacement, stormwater improvements, and road paving.
Okay. So no outfalls. I know 10th Street runs right down into it there.
Yes, sir. And we
And always hearing from the people that live on Davis Lake.
yes, sir.
West side. Okay.
motion to approve.
Second. All right, we got a motion to approve with a second. Is there any public commentary?
Yeah,
All right,
bring
Ms.
Keith
Hodges, will you
back
call the
up
vote?
there.
Commissioner Warwick?
Yes.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples?
Yes, you're right.
Motion
Mayor
passed.
Anderson.
Next, we have the discussion
I'm
and
doing it right
possible
now.
approval to
It's very
accept the
sick.
annual renewal of employee benefits plans and associated costs. Assistant City Manager.
Yes, this we bring yearly to the commission, and that is what our annual plan is for our employee benefits. Today, I have in the audience, and who will come to speak, is West Wingate. He represents Adventrist, who is our third-party administrator. They do the negotiations with our medical providers. And then when he's through, I'll talk about the two options or the two funding options that we would like to present to the commission. Thank you, Mr. Wingate.
Thank you for having me very much. So we ended up with our Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal. The original renewal came in for the medical insurance, a little over 10% renewal. We were able to negotiate that down to a 5.72 renewal, which is effective for August the 1st. In doing so, one of the things that we always look at is our different types of funding options, which affects obviously the government, the city, and it also affects the employees. So what staff recommended was we did two different funding options that y'all were provided. The first funding option is passing the 5.72% increase, part of that to the employees, so their deductions would go up some. And then the city would take the other portion of the 5.2% rate increase. This is with no plan changes, so the plans would roll over as normal. Cost to do that to the city is about $100,000 a year overall gross. That's 5.72 for the employees, 5.72 for the city. Option two funding arrangement was to basically become a little bit more of an aggressive employer. Obviously, it is hard to get good employees. It's hard to keep good employees. As you know, health insurance is a very big component of a great employer. So what we did, took the same plan designs and actually lowered the employees' deductions some, and also the cost of that would go to the city, the additional cost.
What
that
Kiki's
cost
job
does
title is
provide
for
the
me,
ability
because
to
I'm writing a public
hire
record
and
request. I just need her
retain
job title.
better employees. Same plan designs. Everybody loves Blue Cross.
Sorry if I talked over the guy. I just need somebody to write down Kiki's job title so I can finish my public record request that I'm sending now.
City. And again, the employees are taking on part of that cost. Their overall cost for the employees is about $15,000. And then option two, again, overall, the employees' deductions would be going down, especially for dependents. Under the base plan, because we do have two different plans that are offered. The base plan is where the majority of your employee population lives. Great plan. And again, option two would be, it's about $180,000, $188,000 increase to the city.
Let me add that through the research, our sister cities or cities around us had gotten more aggressive to try to provide benefits at a lower cost to their employers. And I've been hearing that throughout the city. In doing this research and in preparing for this, I asked Adventrist to look at a different rate schedule to try to lower that cost to our employees, especially employees with dependents. And I also think this helps us ensure that we might have a healthier workforce. More people would step in, more of our employees would step in and take advantage of this medical coverage. And while it does add some cost to the city, it also ensures that we can retain some of those employees in the long run. So we are recommending option 2, the funding 2, which lowers the premiums for the employees with a slight increase to the city.
Can I ask Kiki how that will affect our budget?
Yeah, get her up there. Look at everybody's freaking out, especially Perno.
As Mr. Wingate told you, the lower plan would cost the city approximately $100,000 from this year. The difference between fiscal 25 and 26 would be approximately $100,000. If you go for option 2, which I am recommending and have included in the budget, that would be a $188,000 difference between fiscal 25 and fiscal 26.
188,000 difference or 88?
188. The option 1 is 100,000.
So difference like 80,000.
Correct, another
Okay.
$80,000.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you. I make a motion that we accept the second option.
I'll second it.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor with a second. Is there any public commentary?
Yeah, bring back Kiki. What the hell, man? This is unbelievable.
I think the 88,000 is a small price to pay for the outstanding city employees that we have. And I think retaining the good talent that we already have is worth it. So I would support that. Vote yes.
Thank you. Any other public commentary? Also, would like to say for myself that I would like to piggyback on what Mr. Langford said. I think, one of the hardest things to do in a business is to retain employees, and any little thing. I think 88,000 is a small price to pay to retain employees. So, and I think if anyone, citizen, that if you sat down and explained to them the importance, I think most would probably agree. So that's where I'm at. All right. If there's no further public commentary, then there's a motion on the floor with a second. Ms. Hodges, will you call the vote?
Commissioner Warwick?
Yes.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Peoples?
Yes. All right. So we said we we're going to talk about what we added to the agenda later. So any further discussion?
Well, I'd like to, when we picked up the rest of the meeting, who did we look at? Who did we ask questions to? You know what I mean? I definitely look at both those guys all the time for what's happening in the city. And we're talking about our projects, our bids, our
Lord.
So my only thing is
Chris Forehand
until the
decides
next
those.
meeting, until everybody's here. But I feel more comfortable with either Chris or Bobby being in that point of leadership until we can all convene together the next meeting. So I think you saw it through the rest of the meeting. These guys are capable of being the person who could run our city. So
I didn't say they're not capable.
I know, but
I just, my concern with everything that's going on with the city, and it's nothing against Mr. Lightfoot and it's nothing against Mr. Baker, that concerns me. And you know what I'm talking about.
No, tell us all.
You know what I mean?
Stop
don't think
code talk.
putting one of them in the position would be a lot better for the city of Lynn Haven. Even if it's 2 weeks.
I don't think all three of you are gonna agree on that
We
action
might,
tonight.
I'm just.
I would like to
we're
request,
talking.
if two of you though, could give some direction as to what city staff should do with regard to whether we want to recruit externally an interim for any portion, or start putting together, soliciting quotes from a headhunter for a permanent city manager.
Search underway.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
So what you're wanting to do is put Mr. Lightfoot in as interim city manager
geez.
until we can get
Why is
another
Jenny always
interim city
full?
manager from outside.
However we decide. Yep.
Oh, Lord. Enough time to start hiding stuff.
Is that your motion? Make your motion.
That'll be,
Look.
that'll be sufficient enough for a motion as an interim city manager until we appoint an interim or a permanent, because that could happen too. But another interim would be more likely, but we could all meet and talk about it again.
Okay.
I just sent that, by the way. I
Is
wish
that your
you would
motion?
too.
Yes, sir.
I'll second it.
Oh, Amy,
All right,
they
so
already agreed.
with this motion,
Look at
that would mean that we're
Jamie.
also giving the city the direction to start
Two different motions.
two
please.
different
You need
motions.
a resolution
Okay,
that appoints
so-
an interim, and then I want just direction to staff on what to do about the rest.
All right, good. I'm glad you said that. So I won't adjourn the meeting right after this.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, we got a motion on the floor with a second. Any more public commentary?
Yeah, bring back
Mr.
Kiki.
Walker.
Duplication of effort here. You have a young lady here that is doing it right now. All the paperwork is signed over. She signs the check. She does everything right now. Why do you want to get an interim for an interim? You've got one. Let her go.
I want
I'll
you to
take it.
see this.
He's there.
Listen, please send a public record request. Here's the address: public records request at cityoflynnhaven.com. I'm going to write it down for you. George is right. George rests his case on a mistake. Y'all need to listen to her. And they want to put Lightfoot in there. Oh, Lord. They're confused because they don't know what to do, Kiki. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Pat really wants Pat. Pat really. What's going on? Where is he? I wouldn't be doing that stuff. What? What? The mayor's out of the country? The hell? We haven't heard that. The heck? I thought he was just at the church. The mayor's out of the country? Pat Purnell's in a mood tonight, arguing with George Hines and everybody. Hours into this. Yes. She left herself the or. You see how she did that? She's smarter than them. Why don't you talk to him now? God. But he's out of the country. Mayor Nelson picked a hell of a time to leave the country. What? Try to just try what Pat says. Just make it up as you go. What the hell? Woo. Sounds like they were doing a lot of stuff with Vicky. But he's out of the country, Jamie. Yeah, where's the mayor? Holy smokes. All right. So I'm just making. Okay. Let me get rid of this. All right. We don't care. All right. Did you get the? Let me show you. If you haven't sent a public record request, it would really help me if you did. There's the address, public records request at cityoflynnhaven.com. Just ask for the presentation that the finance director tried to give tonight that they didn't want her to give. Because now that's a big effing deal. It's going to cause all kinds of speculation and conspiracy theories because we don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. By the way, I'm making a, you want to see how I do this? Should I show you this? So I'll show you. I'm making I'm about to post something on Facebook before I get on up. Trying to figure out how to make this look right. Maybe I don't need anything on here. Yeah, I don't need that at all. See, this is my behind the scenes thought process. All right. So let me download this. I'm basically right now going to post the mayor is out of the country. Why is that on the screen? Okay, sorry, let me get that off the screen. I'm about to post the mayor is out of the country, quote by Pat Perno. Look, let's say the mayor is on a beautiful family vacation, okay? And I hope he is. But there should have been an announcement. He says, look, I'm not going to be at the next meeting, you know. Maybe when he didn't let the media in the church, he could have said, look, I've got this church meeting because I'm about to leave the country and go on a nice vacation or something. Now watch, everyone say, Bernie's talking terrible. He's talking about the families. I'm not talking about the families. I hope the beautiful families are having a beautiful vacation. I just wish that the mayor would have, I don't know, notified the public at a time like this. You heard? You dig? No, Bernie, that's outrageous. Oh, stop it. It's unbelievable. Oh, God. I'm sure what I'm doing. So let's go to the Facebook page here. Let's see if I show you real quick what I'm up to here. Just want to make sure everybody knows that the mayor's out of the country. I just sort of slipped out the last few minutes of the meeting. That's so weird. That's just weird. Is it weird? All right, let's see. Yeah, okay, here. Oh, I don't know if I can show you all this stuff. Let me get it up here and I'll show you what I'm posting. I mean, I don't know if you're still with me. I want to get the hell out of here. I thought I was going to be showing you a very short meeting, and then all this happened. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's bring you here. Yeah, see, I'm just making a post. This is how I do it. All right, quote. I think this was the quote. The mayor is out of the country. That's all. Commissioner Pat Perno near the end of tonight's Lynn Haven City Commission meeting. Everybody was asking where he was tonight. Nobody knew. Well, we didn't know. Finally, Perno blurted it out. There you go. Let's see. A few major questions arose from tonight's meeting. More to follow. How about that? See? Bernie, this is how much thought you put into these posts. Looks like it. I know. More to follow. Oh boy. How about we go like this? Put that like that and boom. See, the mayor is out of the country. Commissioner Pat Perno near the end of tonight's Lynn Haven City Commission meeting. Everybody was asking where he was tonight. Say where Nelson was. Mayor Jesse Nelson was tonight. Oh, look at the recall. Nelson pops up. Finally, Perno blurted it out. A few major questions rose from tonight's meeting. More to follow. God, you know what? I don't get anything done. This stuff happens, and I got to like spend time on this when I have a million other things to get done, like and deadlines. Why am I complaining to you about it? Say, get a real job, Bernie. Stop lying about everybody, right? Okay, so that looks like that's, oh, there it is. Is it up? Do you guys see it? Oh, by the way, while I got you here, I should show you this. Yeah, I really should, I guess. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Damn, I have a lot of stuff up here. These are all the things I didn't get done. All right, look at this. This is, highly recommend this. Get that off. Okay, look at this. If you're not doing this, you're missing out. I know you don't believe me, but you are. This is the Substack I'm always telling you about. All right, right here. And there. So that's what the Substack is. And it has all of these. You have the behind the scenes videos. You've got, look at this. Is this professional or what? You see that right there? You've got the weekly emails with everything, all the shows. Look at that. And it takes 20 seconds to subscribe to this. I mean, I can't encourage you enough to get the Substack. Substack, bernie.substack.com. That's where it is, bernie.substack.com. 20 seconds. Subscribe, get the weekly email. You'll have the shows, you'll have everything, and you can forward it to people who don't even have Facebook, and they won't miss a show, and we can help get the word out. By the way, if you've been trying to reach me and I haven't been reachable, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm way behind. It's bad. But you can book a call with me. Oh, Bernie, just trying to make money. Yeah, I am. I need to make a living. I'm not doing very well at it. But you can get my undivided attention at Calendly. Screenshot it. It's so easy. Calendly.com/Bernie Thompson. You can book a half hour or an hour and get my undivided attention on a phone call. It's the best I can do right now. Calendly.com/Bernie Thompson. All right. What else? I need to thank the Unknown Patriot for sure. Thanks for your support. And those of you, by the way, some of you, I've seen you, and thank you for those of you who are helping crowdfund this effort to keep you filled in on what's going on. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson, as little as $5 a month. That's like a tip in the tip jar. It's easy. It's anonymous even, and you can quit at any time. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. Okay, thank you so much. Can I get out of here? There I am real little. See, I'm messing up. I've been on too long. My brain's fried. I got to get out of here. All right. Everybody be cool. And I'll be back tomorrow.